I'm not looking at commercials.
And welcome to NuffWORLD TV for tonight's broadcast of the Starting Part Blog 400 here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is your old friend Douglas Sargent up here in the booth calling it tonight. Got a special guest commentator up here tonight with us. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself there, my man.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much. My name is Brandon Butler. I am one of the co-managers of the Starting Park blog, and I'm also a fellow Nuffer. So, Deucey, it's great to be here in the booth, my man.
All right, and we start things off here at Las Vegas now. We're going to kind of do a little something here at the Starting Park Blog 400 here from Las Vegas. I had the wonderful privilege earlier this week to get out there and turn a few laps out here in one of the NuffWORLD cars, and got to say I had myself a blast. I learned a lot about what it takes to drive this track. I tell you, it's a fun track to drive, but it is a very bumpy track, and looking forward to some a lot of green flag racing, I hope, here tonight. The guys are out there qualifying right now tonight. Show you a little piece we had her from earlier this week. You know, this is myself driving here, coming up out of the pit, out of the garage here, actually getting out onto the track here. You know, as you're moving coming up to speed, you're shifting off to the second gear. Of course, kind of keep it down here on the apron, you know, until here we get up on the track. What you'll see these guys doing tonight, coming out of turn 2, you're officially able to come up onto the track. As you see, about this point, you're up probably about 100, 135, maybe 140 mile an hour, most up on the track, shifting up into fourth gear and starting to head off into turn 3 here. Once you get into turn 3, as you can see, these cars, they don't really want to turn too well getting down in here into these first so tires. You know, they start warming up, getting some pressure built up, getting some heat in those tires. You want to kind of keep it down here on the bottom as you go across the start-finish line, try to get the best. You'll start redlining right there before you go into turns 1 and 2. And then you'll come bring it down here, arc it down onto the bottom as best as you possibly can. Try to get as low on that line. The fastest way around this track is definitely to get down that white line. To get down into turns 3 and 4 here, you're going to be hitting 3 and 4. It's probably 195 or so miles an hour, trying to arc it down on that bottom line. Once again, coming up out of the corners, swing it back out a little bit, bring it back down towards the bottom as you cross that start-finish line. And by this time, usually about 2 to 3 laps in is about when these tires start really getting their pressures built up, getting their heat built up in them. And that's when you'll really see these guys getting down on that bottom line and getting into the corners really well. But like I said earlier, you know, those first few laps, it's not, you know, there's not a whole lot there of pressure built up. So you're not able to get down there so much. But as these pressures build up, you'll be able to bring it back down here. I think this is like our 3rd lap here coming through. And you'll see it'll act a lot different getting down into the corners here. But this, as you see, you know, if you're looking at that top screen there, the in-car cam, you see this is a very bumpy track. It's really surprising to me is how much bump there was in this track that you're going down the track. So that car kind of moves around on you quite a bit. And you bring it down in here, like I said, you can get down on that bottom line now. You got the tire pressures built up, the air pressures are built. You got the nice warm, nice heat in those tires, and you can really start streaming around here. Most of the laps we're going to see tonight are in about the 28.5 to 29 second range. You know, as the tires start to wear out, though, you'll see guys moving back up to 29, 30 second range, even into the 31 second range. Now, if you come around right here, you see going down into turns 3 and 4 here once again. It's you know, getting down on that bottom as much as you possibly can. You want to be as far down on there as you can. But you'll also, one of the things I've noticed that I've even done it myself earlier this week, you get down in that, start going down on that bottom line too much as these tires start getting optimal temperatures. You'll see a lot of guys will slide down, maybe touch that apron a little bit. You see a little bobble, they slide back up the track. It'll help them to bump back on the track, which can cause trouble if there's someone up the side of them. And coming down in here to 3 and 4, once again, you see right there, you see pit lane off to your left as you come out of 3 and 4. It comes up on you rather quickly here, which is a real surprise. A lot of these, like tracks we drove earlier this year, Daytona and such, you had all kinds of time, you know, that long pit lane, long line to get down there before you got into pit lane. But this one here at Las Vegas, it's very quick. It'll pick up on you very fast. And I wouldn't surprise me to see a lot of guys have some issues with getting on the pit lane here as the night goes on throughout this race. But this is like I said, very bumpy, very interesting track, but it's very fast all at the same time. Plenty wide enough to do. You'll see a lot of 2-wide racing, possibly even 3-wide racing through this track. It's a very quick, very fast track with a lot of room. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see it 3-wide at times here tonight. But kind of looking at here, we'll try to give you the show as we go down into pit road, kind of give you an idea how quickly this will sneak up on you here as you try to get down pit road. As you see right there bouncing off that apron, it can cause the car to get a little bit upset. You got that first cone there. The second cone, as you see, that line right there as we just passed, is one, you know, that you definitely got to be low down. Speed limit is 45, and if you kind of look at the speed you're moving here, you know, you're moving 45 is just a snail's pace after you've been out there on that track for 175 to 190 plus miles an hour that whole time. And kind of drive us down through here looking at pit lane as we roll into our pit stop here. You know, we kind of do a 4-tire stop and kind of show you how it's like coming off a pit road under a green flag condition, so to speak. As you know, most of these guys that you see out here tonight, when they make those green flag pit stops, they're going to most likely lose at least 1, sometimes even 2 laps, according to how quickly they can get on and off pit road. And that first stall right there, as you saw I just had, you know, that's the optimal place to be, so that you ain't got to worry about keeping that pit lane speed. Once you make it up there one time, that's it. You come out, you know, after you got them 4 fresh tires, you just hammer down on it and you get out of there. So that'll be one of the big things. You know, you might see quite a few pit road speeding penalties handed out here tonight too. It's really, you know, one of those things you're anxious to get it slowed down as you get into pits, but at the same time you're trying to make the most speed you possibly can down there coming through pit lane. You know, so you might see a few pit road violations down here tonight, and some stop and go penalties and such, just because of that. And as you see, you know, coming back out here now, I put on scuff tires this time. As you see, that's going to be a big difference too. These are tires that have got 3 laps already on them, so these tires are up to speed. They've already got the stickers scrubbed off of them. And once again, as you saw right there, you know, I kind of got down on that apron, like we talked about earlier, you know, caused you to bump up that there a little bit. And, you know, I think it should be a very interesting race to see out here tonight. Like I say, it's a bumpy track, but it's a wide track. It's a very fast track. So I think we're going to have ourselves some fun here. And like I said, you know, kind of looking at you, see it here on the grass as I park. You know, this is the Starting Park 400 presented by NuffWORLD. So hope you guys had a little fun watching us run around the track there. All right, and you know, we're looking at the Starting Park Blog 400 here tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll be back here in just a few moments after this quick commercial break from NuffWORLD TV. Guys, stay tuned. We're looking forward to green flag racing here soon. And welcome back here to Las Vegas Motor Speedway and tonight's Starting Park Blog 400 on NuffWORLD TV. Just kind of go through, throw out some interesting stats here. One of our odds-on favorites here tonight would have to be Mr. Dale Reynolds, who has the highest average finish, best average finish of all the Nuffers currently racing. And right now he's got one win here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, 3 top 5s and 4 top 10s out of 5 races here with an average finish of a 5.8, which is that's unmatchable here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But before we kind of get to the national anthem and get some green flag racing here, I'm going to turn it over to my friend here, Brandon Butler, who's talk about tonight's race being sponsored by Starting Park Blog 400. And I understand you guys got a little giveaway you're doing tonight. Is that correct?
Absolutely, Deucey, yes. We are going to be giving away a $15 iRacing gift card, or as most people say, it's an iRacing credit. And we're going to be doing that through with a random question here later on during the broadcast. But to get into the blog, I wanted to basically say that we try to strive to be the one-stop shop, as they would say, as far as the NASCAR blog goes. We post everything from entry lists to qualifying results to press releases and to original content. We try, like I said, we try to be the go-to place, and we try to provide the best experience possible on site.
That's awesome. I checked out checking out y'all's blog there a little bit earlier this week. That's before this race came up. A lot of interesting stuff on there. So look forward to definitely reading more as this year goes on. And wish you guys all the best of luck with the blog of Ever Starting Park. And definitely glad to have you guys on board over here at NuffWORLD. And as a sponsor here, and especially sponsored tonight's race. Great to have you guys on board. And I know on behalf of all the owners and co-owners and all of the admins over here, welcome aboard to the NuffWORLD family, so to speak.
Well, thanks. We really appreciate it. We are very excited about this race, and we really can't wait for it to get started.
Yeah, we're just moments away here from green flag racing as we get ready. It looks like we got the national anthem queued up, just about ready to go, and then be presented by those famous words of motorsports. Gentlemen, start your engines. I'm looking forward to this. Looks like we're going to have some real good racing here tonight, as we got a field full ready to go here for tonight's Starting Blog 400 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll stay tuned.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And against red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome back here to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Tonight's Starting Park Blog 400 And we're looking at right now. We're getting ready to roll them off right now as we're talking. We're back here live. Qualified on the pole tonight, number 27 of Dale Reynolds. Alongside him, and the number 19 will be Jeremy Enoch. In third place, Louis Busta, the number 3 machine. Fourth place will be the number 83 of Timmy St. Jean. Rolling off fifth, number 48, Dominic LaRussa. Sixth will be the 51 of Nick Timms. Rolling off in seventh will be the 23 of Frankie Samano. Rolling off eighth will be the 08 of Danny Gutierrez. Rolling off ninth will be the number 4 car of Dennis Wright. And rolling off 10th will be the 76 of Joshua Biddle.
Rolling off 11th will be Brian Lee. Rolling off 12th will be Dennis Jenkins. Rolling off 13th will be Ethan Rondu. Rolling off 14th will be Howard Wildrick. Rolling off 15th will be Bruce Turner. Rolling off 16th is Christian Vasquez. Rolling off 17th will be Kevin Buchanan. Rolling off 18th will be Jeremy Hinkle. Rolling off 19th will be Charles Payne. And rolling off 20th will be Ed Wilson.
Going off 21st will be the number 90 of Tim Dunford. Number 22, 22nd will be the number 24 of Chuck Garcia. 23rd will be the 37 of Jimmy Leggio. Rolling off 24th to the 68 of Danny Baker. Rolling off from 25th to 32 of Justin Barden. And then the number 54 of Charles Chapman. Rolling off 27th to number 30 of Kevin Kelly. Trolling out 28th and the number 33 is Ben Bando. Rolling off 29th of John Lawler and the number 64. And rolling off in 30th will be Kevin Kelly Jr. and the number 87.
Rolling off 31st will be Dwayne Hall. Rolling off, oh, I got the green flag.
Right you are, green flag racing, and here we go. We're off to a great start here. Looks like we got Dale Reynolds still holding down that number 1 position, so we hold up into turn 1. He's followed very closely down on the inside by Louis Busta. Looks like they're trying to make that inside work, possibly get him a little advantage over the 19 of Jeremy Enoch as they head off into 3. It looks like Reynolds should clear him here going through 3 and 4. But oh no, looks like Enoch is holding strong up there.
Yeah, looks like he's got to run on the high side.
Yeah, Jeremy is definitely holding strong up there on the high side in that number 19 machine, so he's not letting Dale Reynolds get away on this restart, as it looks like Louis Busta lost a little bit of ground there coming off of turn 4 there, coming down into that tri-oval as they head off into turns 1 and 2, once again, side by side. And it looks like Enoch is really making that high line work up there in that number 19. He might be comfortable.
Coming into turn 4. He might clear him.
Yeah, looks like he should clear him here, and we got ourselves a new leader here on lap 2 is Jeremy Enoch in that number 19 machine as he's leading the way, and Louis Busta is still back there in third place, falling right behind Dale Reynolds in that number 27, but looks like he's going to be getting challenged here pretty soon by Timmy St. Jean back there in that number 83 machine, followed closely by the 51 of Nick Thames. These guys, they're heading off here, coming out of turns 3 and 4. Enoch is going to stretch out his lead just a little bit. He's got that number 19. He's really got it rolling here tonight, and looks like he came to race. He's up front early and starting to run away a little bit with that lead from the 27 of Dale Reynolds running in second.
Absolutely, he's definitely going to be somebody we're going to have to watch closely tonight.
Yeah, Jeremy. I was talking to him earlier this week. He's really wanting to get himself a win here. He's not, this is the third race of the season. He's really looking to kind of kick the. Oh, Louis Busta is making a move. Looks like
on pass on Dale Reynolds.
That is correct, and he makes the pass going down into 1, so that moves Louis Busta up into the number 2 position as Timmy St. Jean and Nick Timms down there in that 51 and 83 machine. It looks like they were about to have a little battle there for the 4th place position, but as they come back down into the back stretch there, looks like they kind of sorted it out single file. And moving up into 6th right now, I'm looking back there at that 48 machine, Dominic LaRusso, who's been having himself a pretty good year so far this year in NuffWORLD Racing here, and he's moved himself up into 6th, and followed by the 08 of Gutierrez. Danny Gutierrez also having another good year so far, so, starting to see some of the familiars up here early, so looks like it's going to be a real good race as Enoch is continuing to just start walking away with this thing. He's got a little over half a second now between himself and the second place machine of Louis Busta. Looks like Jeremy has definitely got the car here tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it looks like Jeremy Enix is definitely got a really strong car out here in the early part. It'll be interesting to watch Jeremy in that number 19 machine as time rolls on, you know, to see how that car does once the tires start wearing. Now, I was looking at a little bit earlier tonight talking to some of the drivers, and I guess they get roughly around 60 laps or so out of a tank of fuel. So, you know, they've got a long way still to go on these tires, so we'll see how Jeremy's tires hold up through the long run. But right now, in the early part of this going, he's running away with them. But looking back through the field here a little bit, I'm looking back here at the one of our usual front runners at number 8 of Christian Vasquez. He's back here currently running in the 13th position, just got past the 67 of Kevin Buchanan. These guys, you know, running back here 13th, 14th, 15th, you know, they want to get up there pretty soon and make themselves, you know, Christian, he's definitely been up there the last few races up towards the front, so he's definitely looking to get that car back up there after he didn't have quite the qualifying effort he's used to having out here.
Yeah, definitely.
But looking back up here in front, once again, the number 19, the Jeremy Enix, he's pulled another 1/10 of a second out here tonight, stretched that thing out to almost just over 7/10 of a second now. So he's definitely starting to stretch things out here a little bit. Lewis Buss is still currently running in second now. He's pulled away from the third place machine, number 83 of Timmy St. Jean, has gotten underneath the 27 of Dale Reynolds, moved himself into the third place position.
There's a car around in turn 3.
Yeah, looks like we had a car going around. Not sure quite who that was, but looks like we're staying green here. So single car spin, got himself off the track. I'm being told it was the number 99 of Dennis Jenkins, who once again has just still got that monkey on his back, as we spoke about last week. Yeah, he just doesn't seem to be able to catch a break up here this year in NuffWORLD racing. We'll be back. Replay just a second. Yeah, it looks like on that replay, it looks like Jenkins just kind of got himself kind of sucked around there for a little bit.
Yeah, it looks to me like he just got loose there.
Yeah, it looks like coming through the middle of the corner there. It looks like that rear end just kind of stepped around on him. Oh, it looks like we got ourselves a caution out there in the speedway.
Yep,
not sure. Going to have to take a look at that, see who that one was on. Not quite sure what happened there, but we've definitely got ourselves a caution.
I see Chuck Garcia rolling through the grass, and I wonder.
I would be almost willing to bet if I were a gambling man, if the guy's rolling through the grass, that would probably be the cause of that caution there. Brandon, definitely. Yeah, and it looks like, kind of doing my little rewind here, it looks like Garcia was coming through 3 and 4 right there. Looks like he had himself had a battle going there with the number 90. Looks like the 90 may have bounced off the wall just a little bit. As he bounced off that wall,
yeah,
like he
ricocheted and hit right into Garcia, and that just ultimately sent him around.
Yeah, it looks like he definitely just, that wall can come up and bite you real quick right there coming out of turn 4. Yeah, coming off of turn 4 there, that wall can really jump up and kind of bite you as you're coming out of there, and that looks like exactly what happened. Is he got up into that wall, kind of bounced off it a little bit, got into the door of the 24 of Chuck Garcia, which sent him spinning. So, and being told, looks like our lucky dog's going to be the number 42 of Travis McKinney. So definitely going to be a big break for McKinney, getting himself back up on the lead lap. You know, had a little issue with you know, a drive-through there at the beginning of the race, and got himself a lap down, but this will put him back up on the lead lap. So it's definitely a good break there for the number 42 machine. But looking back up through the field here, looks like Jeremy Enix, though, definitely had the car going well there in that first 12 laps or so. It's going to be interesting once this race plays out tonight and the track temperatures change too, to see how that car hangs out up on the long run. As the 51 looks like Nick Thames decided to stay out. Gets credit for leading that lap and that all-important bonus point, you know, as the season goes on. Nick, being our 2011 VSU Cup Series champion, knows how important those points are, especially the bonus points for one lap led. As if I ain't mistaken, in 2011 when he did win the championship, the top 3 were only separated by 2 points going into the final race of the season there at Homestead. So like I said, those bonus points definitely will pay big dividends at the end of the year. Looks like in the road race off pit road though,
Looks like Lewis
was
Bussa, yes, and then
yeah,
Jeremy Enoch.
Yeah, looks like Bussa got on and off pit road really well. He's the first car out, followed by, like you said, Jeremy Enoch in the number 19 machine there. So they're going to settle out. Looks like after everything cycles through on this first round of pit stops, Bussa will cycle through coming out in the 9th place position, and the 19 of Enoch will cycle through coming out in the 10th place position. So even with some guys staying out and such, looks like they still maintain themselves in the top 10. And kind of looking back over here, looks like that's number 90 of Dunford. Looks like he had some may have had some issues as he put that car already behind the wall. Is what I'm showing. He may have had something go wrong, and what caused him to get into the wall up there, and out of the way. It looks like he's put it behind the wall back there in the garage area.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, Dunford's one of those guys. This is his first race out here with NuffWORLD. He's a brand new rookie. Just kind of got over here with us in the last few days. Got himself a ride. Still looking for a team, my understanding. But completed 12 laps here tonight. Kind of gets himself a good idea though of NuffWORLD racing. And yeah, I've seen him out there in happy hour for quite a bit. Run a lot of laps in happy hour. So I'm sure that young man, as we continue on through this season, it's going to be another name we'll call quite often.
Absolutely. But again, really, as a rookie, it's really unfortunate for you to have, something happen like that in the first not even 15 laps of the race. It's pretty unfortunate.
That it is. He definitely was, I'm sure, looking for a lot more out of tonight than 14, 15 laps. But unfortunate, but I'm sure he'll be back here to race next week. We'll see him live here on NuffWORLD TV. And best of luck to him for next week, and hope to see him here and put on a great show for all the fans. But looks like out of all the guys that did pit, looks like right now first place, number 51 of Nick Timms, decided to stay out along with the 40 of Ethan Rondo, and the third place position there, the number 15 of Darren Binge. Those round out your top 3. Well, it looks like Ben's decided to head on down pit road now.
Yeah.
So we only got 2 up front with those 15 lap tires, we'll call it, as Lewis Bussa and Jeremy Enoch will now cycle through in the number 3, number 4 position. They definitely didn't lose very much there in that cycle of pit stops. So they'll be able to maintain some pretty decent position here on the racetrack. But looking back through the pack here a little bit, I'll kind of go through some of the rundown here as we're getting ready to go back to green flag here pretty soon. But looks like as all cycled through, the number 51 of Nick Timms comes out in the number 1 position after not pitting, followed behind him with the number 40 of Ethan Rondu, who also did not pit. And like we talked about earlier, the number 3 of Lewis Bussa cycling through in 3rd position. Jeremy Enoch coming out in the 4th position, losing 1 position down on pit road there, cycling through in the 4th place position. Timmy St. Jean in the number 83 machine will round out the top 5, followed by, in 6th place, the number 27 of Dale Reynolds. Then in 7th place, the 03 of Bruce Turner, who's made himself, from the back. Looks like he made up quite a few positions there on pit road. And then in 8th place, number 23 of Frankie Samanto. 9th place, the number 8 of Christian Vasquez, who we were talking about a little bit earlier. He's made his way back up here inside the top 10 now, so he's definitely looking to race and get that car up there with his old friend Lewis.
Be very interesting. Definitely be very interesting to see what Vasquez does.
Yeah, Christian, as we alluded to several times, he's our one racer from down in Costa Rica who comes out. He's here every week hanging out with us. Loves hanging out and racing here in NuffWORLD. And we even had a chance to chat with him up here in the booth I think it was last week. We got to talk to that young man and kind of learn a little bit about him. As starting to double up now, heading out of turns 1 and 2 here. So looks like we just got the 1 to go. So we're going to be going green flag here in just a moment. But like I said, there's going to be a lot of racing here tonight. 267 laps got to be completed. We're up to 16 now. So fuel windows being roughly about 60 laps or so. So, it's going to be interesting to see as Timms and Rondu both stayed out, and they have those 14-lap tires on those cars, but we do know they can go a lot longer than that on fuel, so we'll see if that has any plays into anything here with those fresher tires right behind them.
Just before we go back, I wanted to mention too about Vasquez. The one thing I like is about him is the fact that he's got a whole bunch of unique paint schemes. I think the Spy car is pretty much my personal favorite. I just like his overall, paint schemes that he's got. I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah, Christian has definitely got some very unique, very different paint schemes of his own. Here's we got the green flag, and we're heading off into turn one here.
Go, green flag.
Looks like Tim's got a real good restart out there and drops it down on that inside line here, heading off into turn one. Looks like Ethan in that number 40 really didn't get a very good restart at all as we head off 3 wide down into turn one there, and Bussa and Enix in that 3 and 19, they are, and also the 83 following right through with them. These guys are looking towards getting right back where they were at before this caution came out, as Enix is leading the way right now with Lewis Bussa right behind him. But Nick Tames with those older tires, looks like he may be he may be just trying to hang on right now. Yeah, because he's definitely got a pack of wolves coming right there behind him in those 3 cars, followed by also Dale Reynolds has got himself right in there too in that number 5 position down to number 27. So these guys have made short work of Rondu in that number 40, and now setting their sights on front runner number 51, Nick Tim.
And it looks like right now it's a 6-car breakaway.
Yeah, they've got a definite breakaway going on there. Not sure if Rondu in that number 40, I don't know if he spun the tires or exactly what happened. Maybe missed a gear there, but either way, he kind of checked up that line and, kind of caused a breakaway here as they kind of split him, went 3 wide down into the corner there in turn 1. So it definitely gave these guys a 6-car breakaway.
And it looks like Enix is now the leader once again.
Yeah, Enix has gotten around Tim's there, taking number 1
Here
position.
Comes
and now,
Bussa.
Yeah, Lewis Bussa now looking on that
and
outside.
Timmy St. Jean. Here comes Timmy St. Jean also on the high side as well.
Yeah, these guys, that just kind of goes to show, that's the kind of answered the question I had there a little bit earlier about how much difference those fresh tires would make, on these runs, even though there wasn't a whole lot of laps on those tires. That goes to answer the question right there, as, within a matter of laps, Tim's is back there now in the 6th place, as Jeremy Enix moves himself back up into the front and starting to put a little distance between him and the 2nd place machine there, Lewis Bussa, too. So, definitely look out tonight for Jeremy Enix in that 19. Looks like he came here to race for sure.
Seems to me like he's got NOS under that car or something,
Yeah, he's definitely got that car hooked up, but as we speak about that, Lewis Bussa's starting to charge back a little bit now. Looks like he may have picked up the speed a little bit and has pulled up along, pretty close to him, less than a tenth of a second separating the 2 right now as they go down into 1. Looks like Bussa's going to try to take a sneak peek underneath there, and
looks like he's going to challenge him.
Yeah, he's going to bring some company with him in that 3 cars that he's got going on there.
He's got the lead now.
Coming with St. Jean and Bruce Turner following through that 03 machine also.
And here comes
Looks
Dale
like we got
Reynolds.
another caution out there. Caution flag flies, so let's find out what that was all about, as we had a lot of good racing going on up here in the front.
Oh, indeed. That was really exciting to watch.
Yeah, we definitely had some good racing going on there up front. Looks like Jeremy's rather fond of that 2nd groove there and a 2nd line up, off the bottom. But looks like these other guys seem to be able to carry a little more speed, as it is the quicker way around the track down there on that bottom, and they were able to get around in the night thing.
For a little bit there, Enix on the high side, he was starting to break away from the 6-car back, and then all of a sudden they just came right back and took him for the lead, or at least Bussa overtook him for the lead. Yeah,
Lewis, he's won the first 2 events so far this year, so he's no stranger to being up front. He knows how to run that car, that's for sure. But being told, looks like it was number 61 machine of Charles Payne who brings out the caution there. And kind of looking back through the pack here to see kind of what happened on our monitors, but looks like, from what I can tell, just looks like he got in there and the car, as he tried to turn it down and arc it down to the bottom there in turn 1, looks like it just did not want to stick for him, and the rear end got real light, came around on him, and looks like he just kind of spun it out there on his own.
Yeah, just got
doesn't
loose
look like
off
he was anyone else got collected up in it. So single car spin right there in front of a lot of cars. So a lot of guys caught some lucky breaks there, not getting into that. But he looks like he took a good bit of damage though there as he got up on that wall. You know, when it backed it up into the wall. So looks like Dennis Jenkins though will be our beneficiary of this caution in at number 99. As we talked about, he had had that stuff spin there a little bit earlier. He'll be our lucky dog this time by. So that'll put him back up here as he's running that old school paint scheme tonight. I love that one. I remember it from looking back in the 80s, that old Crisco machine. I'm trying to think, someone might be able to tell me who that was. I can't remember who run it, but old retro throwback Crisco paint scheme there on the number 99 tonight. So definitely nice to see some of the tributes that these guys pay, you know, to the racers of the 80s and the 70s and so on, the legends of NASCAR, so to speak, with some of their paint schemes. As we talk about those, if you look back there at number 88 machine, Mr. Ed Wilson, that's another one. We're talking about some retro paint schemes. You know, he's running that old school Mountain Dew, and if I remember correctly, that one was one of those ran by Darrell Waltrip many years ago.
Yeah,
I remember
correct.
seeing
That was Darrell Waltrip.
that's one of the ones I can remember as a child. You know, I used to go down to Bristol Motor Speedway all the time back in the late 70s, early 80s. I can remember seeing Darrell Waltrip run that one quite frequently in that Gatorade machine. That was always the big deal at Bristol, was that 11 Mountain Dew car and the 88 Gatorade of Bobby Allison. So interesting days back then.
I know I wasn't born, you know, during your time, but like during the mid 90s and early 2000s, I liked the retro cars like the Hot Wheels, you know, 44 car from Kyle Petty, and you know, the 6 Valvoline car or Ford of Mark Martin. I really liked those cars back then. And same thing with the Cartoon Network cars. I don't understand why they were the way they are, but I mean, they were really neat. I really liked those cars as well.
Yeah, you talk about the Cartoon Network car. I'll tell you one cartoon car always kind of gave me a kind of a creep. It wasn't a real racer, but for those of you who've been around NuffWORLD for a little while, Joshua Biddle, that number 76. If you've been around and saw that SpongeBob machine he used to run that all the time with SpongeBob's face right there across the hood. The entire
I do remember that.
The entire hood was nothing but SpongeBob. And man, I tell you what, that was, to me, it was unnerving when he come rolling up behind you and all you could see in a mirror was a mirror full of SpongeBob. That's one thing I'll always remember about that car specifically, because I ran, I think it was Vegas a few years ago, and myself and him were running third and fourth, and he was right on my bumper for about 25 laps, and every time I looked up in the mirror, all I could see was SpongeBob, you know, and of course, something like that, all you want to do is start singing a SpongeBob song, which made it that much worse.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I would see the car to myself. I wouldn't say I was freaked out, but I'd kind of say I was more, you know, laughing, you know, because it was funny seeing that on there. But, you know.
But kind of looking back up here in the front now, I'll kind of get away from my thoughts and theories there on the SpongeBob machine, but looking back up here in front, looks like Timmy St. Jean decided to stay out that time in that number 83 machine, and that'll put him up on point now, leading a lap that time by, and also be leading them down to the start-finish line. Now, I'll kind of throw this out here for you guys. For those of you who've been with us here for the last couple of weeks, you do understand that Dale Reynolds' father, driver the number 27, Dale Reynolds, his father passed away a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things, I'll let you explain it real quick, Brandon.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dale Reynolds' father, Jeffrey T. Reynolds, passed away last week, and I felt that it would be a respectful thing if we were to do a moment of silence on lap 27, which is also Dale Reynolds' number. So,
right you are. So for those of you who are tuning in at home, if you don't hear nothing called during this next lap, now you'll have an understanding why, and it's out of respect for one of our fellow Nuffers who lost his father there, Dale Reynolds. Like I say, our thoughts, our prayers, our condolences still, you know, we go out to their family in their time, in this hard time. I can't even imagine what it's like to lose my father. So we'll go off for a lap here. This is our silent lap in tribute to Dale Reynolds' father. actually on lap 28 as we ran the silent lap there in memory of Dale Riddle's father. And looks like Timmy St. Jean, you know, he definitely jumped out on that restart and took off. And Ed Wilson followed through there in that number 88 machine for a little bit, but now it looks like that bottom line's starting to form up and gang up on him as he's stuck up around that high side now with Bruce Turner now moving that 03 machine up into second place, and Nick Timms, that 51, moving right on up into third position. So a lot of these guys are coming back up towards the front.
Also to point out, we got coming here in third is the 33 of Ben Bando. He is now charging up towards the front.
Yeah, now the looking back here, the 51 and the number 3 of Louis Buster got themselves a nice little side-by-side battle going on here for the fourth place position as they come across the strike there. Looks like these two are definitely going to be fighting all night, it kind of looks like. You know, they've been together so far most of the night in the first 30 laps here. So if these guys, and looking right behind them there, Dale Reynolds at 27, currently running in 7th, you know, so those three cars have pretty much been, you know, they've been together just about all night, you know, running around each other and such. So, you know, with a lot of racing still to go, 230 plus laps, you know, these guys keep running each other like that. You know, they're definitely going to know what each car is capable of and, you know, start making some strategies if it comes down towards the end, and they're the three up front.
Now, also right behind Reynolds is Jeremy Enix, I believe.
That you are correct. Jeremy Enix has moved himself up into the 8th place position now as he just got around the 88 of Ed Wilson. So, you know, he's joined to the fray there with those four who we've been pretty much talking about all night, as the four of them have been running pretty much all up front and stuff. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how this thing pans out towards the end.
And while you were talking there, Ducey, or God bless you, Enix took over 7th place from Dale Reynolds.
Yeah, I'm looking back here in 29th position, kind of looking around in the pack here. We got a nice little 2x2 battle going on back here with Howard Wildrick, Justin Barden, Walt Hamrick, and Joshua Biddle. Looks like it's kind of sorting itself out now, but they were too wide, 2x2 there for about a lap and a half fighting around for that for the number 26 position. And it looks like Wildrick kind of sorted it out, moved himself in there. But as you see up there on the high side, Todd Layton is trying to make some moves up there on the high side too, as Barden, who we had talked about quite often down there in Daytona, had himself a real good run all night long. He's one of those guys that is looking to have a much better year than what he had last year. And that young man so far this year he's definitely been having some good races, definitely having a better year than what he was last year.
And then right behind him is the 18 of Walt Hamrick. Last week, he did not have a good race at all at Phoenix.
No, Walt Hamrick, one of those drivers who, you know, he's been around here in NuffWORLD for quite some time. Yeah, looks like we got ourselves a caution out here on the racetrack.
Yeah, we got somebody down on the lane here.
Yeah, looks like kind of looking back through the field here a little bit. Looks like it might have been the 99 of Dennis Jenkins there. And can't really tell for sure from my angle. He may have had some help from the 64 of Lawler. Not exactly sure. I'll have to take a closer look at that.
Yeah, let's look at the replay, see what happens.
Yeah, it looks like as they were going down into turn 1, he may have slowed up a little bit. And I can't really tell, like I said earlier, if the 64 of Lawler got into him in the rear end to cause him to go around, or if it was just, if they were so close, took the air right off the rear of that 99 machine of Dennis Jenkins. But in either case, he goes around and backs it right up into that wall really hard.
Yeah, it looked to me as though that Lawler hit the 99, and that ultimately took the air out of the rear and sent the 99 spinning.
Yeah, and as all that happened, looks like as Jenkins was coming back up the track after he got around, looks like Lawler there may have been another. Well, yeah, he tagged Jenkins up there in the front too, and then looks like he. Can't really tell. It looks like the 15 of Benj may have also got into Lawler as Lawler spun down off the track. Benj trying to go down low at number 15 and had nowhere to go. Done all that he could getting down on the apron, but still Lawler was right there.
And if I'm correct, I believe Lawler did take some front end damage after he hit the 99.
Yeah, it looks like he took quite a bit of damage there. You know, as he hit the 99, and it looks like he took some side door damage there too, as he's coming down off the track. You know, this is one of those they like to refer to those self-cleaning tracks with the banking. You know, these cars will slide right back down the banking. And it looks like as Benz was coming through on that inside lane trying to clear that accident, Lawler came right down in front of him and he had nowhere to go. But looks like in all this, looks like the number 11 of Steve Deo is going to be our lucky dog. So that'll put Steve up there back. If I ain't mistaken, he'll only be somehow or another. Steve lost 2 laps. So I have to kind of chronicle that, see what happened. I'm not sure what happened to cause him lose 2 laps this early. But it looks like a lot of these guys, you know, as we're coming back around again, we'll see how many will actually jump down into pits this time and take advantage of pit row as Bruce Turner in the 03 machine is leading the way right now, and looks like he waited till the very last second to jump down on the pit road, and looks like he's got a lot of guys tagging along right behind him, so it's going to be interesting to see just how the race off pit road plays out. Yeah, it looks like the biggest, most of the field followed him down.
Yeah, it looks like most of the field, yeah. It's not the majority.
Now, one of the things I'm noticing here, too, looking at the telemetry up here, looks like right now, from the time we started this race, the track temperature was roughly, I think it was 89 degrees, if I remember correctly, but the track temperature now has moved climbed all the way up to 97 degrees. So I'm wondering if that's maybe starting to play with some of the handling on some of these guys' cars and starting to make them a little loose as that track's getting hot. And, you know, starting to make those tires, you know, really slippery after a few laps. So that might be why these guys are so many starting to pit now on every caution when they get the chance.
Louis Busta is the first driver off pit road.
Yep, Louis Busta will be the first off of pit road, so he'll assume the 8th place position. Looks like we had a few cars stay out there. Looks like 7 in total, with Dan Benz in at number 15 being one of those. But yeah, looking up front there, Tony Ball in at number 13 stayed out. He'll be our leader at the time with the 48 of Don LaRusso, you know, running out there in the 2nd place position. And our lucky dog, Steve Deo, looks like he's going to come down and get some fresh tires and fuel also as he's down on the apron right now. Looks like he's heading down the pit road.
And right behind LaRusso is, in 3rd would be Josh Biddle.
Yeah, I had a little talk with Josh Biddle earlier this week. I'm not really sure if I don't, you know, we talked about him earlier, that SpongeBob car. You know, we were looking at his car last week too. I was noticing it there, that Structures car. But man, that ice cream sundae on the front, every time I see that car, I just start getting hungry and craving ice cream. I don't know why.
Oh, same here. I would agree with you there. I would just get hungry.
Decided to stay out. Also on that's down the pit stop too. So it looks like he's going to stay out there, and he'll be leading them back to green, it looks like, as Travis McKinney, at number 42, has now moved himself up into the 2nd place position with some of the cars on the lead lap and had peeled off, went down, took advantage of the pits being open that 2nd time. And Louis Busta will move back up into the number 3 position as he won that race off of pit road, followed in 4th by the 51 of Nick Timms, and in 5th place, the number 83 of Timmy St. Jean. And the 16 has moved himself up into 6th place there of Brian Lee. So he's moved through some traffic, worked smart through pit stops, and moved himself now up into the top 10, followed by Bruce Turner, Jeremy Enix, then Frankie Simonto, and Dale Reynolds rounding out our top 10. So, you know, a lot of these guys have been up front pretty much biggest most of the day, especially with that pack right there we've been talking about so much with Louis Busta, Nick Timms, Timmy St. Jean, and Jeremy Enix. So looks like right now in the early going of the race, they've been the cars to beat so far.
Agreed. They've been really good. And like you said, Ducey, it's going to be, you know, great to see these guys, you know, throughout the later stages of the race. It's going to be exciting to see how these guys handle, you know, on the long run. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a good run there.
Yeah, it looks like they've just been given the one to go, so we'll be going green next time we come around. And looks like Louis Busta he's up there in that outside lane, so McKinney inherits the lead. He decided to take that inside line as Tony Ball went down pit road, you know. So Travis McKinney will assume the lead and has picked that inside line. He's got a real hungry car right there behind him. That number 51 of Nick Timms is, you know, this restart is going to be very very crucial. And so far with what we've seen
Agreed.
with these guys, have stayed out and not got those fresh tires. It hasn't taken very many laps for them, to get overtaken by the fresher tires.
Yeah, agreed, Juicy. And I think that with McKinney out front, not pinning, I think he might be a sitting duck.
Yeah, he could very well be at this stage of the race, but it's still early enough in McKinney's case, that he can get out there, he can lead a lap, get that bonus point for that. But it's early enough in the race that if he could be testing his theory out, see how it works out, see how the car runs, against these cars with fresher tires, and might be something he's planning on a strategy for later on, and just kind of getting some information on it right now. But looks like we just got the green flag flying, and looks like McKinney. I'm not sure if he spun the tires there or exactly what happened. But that car did not get up to speed at all. And rather than trying to get back up on the track and cause any kind of havoc, Travis, has made a smart move, and just kind of pulled it down to the apron and took his time getting back. And Nick James will move out into the lead there as he moves in front of Louis Bussa, take over that number 1 position.
And right behind Bussa is Brian Lee, and right behind him as well is Jeremy Enix. And looks like he's going to overtake him for 3rd spot.
Yeah, I'm noticing that 51 there of Nick James, though. He looks like he's running down there on that apron, coming through the tri-oval, which has been cleared by all NuffWORLD officials here to do tonight. But he's the only one so far I'm really seeing take advantage of that apron down there to kind of get a little advantage. I wouldn't say it's even an advantage. It's about the same speed to keep down through there, but he seems to be the one that likes to do that right now.
I kind of think it's an advantage right now since he's almost got a half second lead over Bussa.
Yeah, Bussa's got a hungry hound right there behind him too, and that number 19 machine of Jeremy Enix. As Jeremy has been up there, he sniffed the lead, and just like we talked about earlier, he's moved down there now. He's been running that higher line there for quite some time during the first part of this race. The first 20 laps or so. But
he's all over Bussa.
Yeah, he's moved down there on the bottom. He's running the same line as Bussa is right now, and looks like he's really giving Bussa a good push, good run down through there. And as they're doing this, though, Nick has continued to step away in that number 51 machine, almost to a 7/10 of a second lead right now. So whatever Nick done down there in the pits, he may have put on scuffs this time, and those tires with 3 laps on them, and might be working out in his favor right now. But look at here, 5th place. Looks like Dale Reynolds has moved himself up into 5th place there, right behind Brian Lee in that 16 machine. And these guys, they're looking up there on that high line more so than anybody else. As Timmy St. Jean took a peek under them for just a second, but got back in line. But these guys are, down to 1 and 2. They definitely ran that high line. Maybe they were searching for something there to try to get around the 19 and the 3, but have definitely chose now. They look like he's picking different lines as Brian Lee went to the high side through the tri-oval, and Dale Reynolds moved it down to the inside, and Dale Reynolds will move forward a position, push himself up into the number 4 position, right behind Jeremy Enix, and looks like that number 83, Timmy St. Jean's coming right through there too, as he's going to continue to run on that bottom, go around Brian Lee as well. So looks like when Lee moved up a little bit there in the tri-oval, looks like he left the door open. Quite a few cars are trying to get through there now.
The one thing I'm starting to notice is as more laps keep, coming down, it seems to me like the bottom lane is, the preferred lane, and it's really difficult, to pass on the high side now, as we were earlier in the race, where the high lane was, a pretty good lane to run. Yeah, that low lane, as these tires start to wear on these cars, is definitely going to be the more preferred line down there on that low lane, but a lot of these guys have given it a try and maybe doing their own homework, their own research, so to speak, on fresh tires as to how they'll be able to run down there in case this comes down to, one of those races we saw in the past, the green-white checkered at the end. If they have to get on that high side, what it will do, as most of these guys, though, have moved down to that inside line now where they can carry as much speed as they possibly can and have plenty of room for margin for error, too, if they happen to get on that apron and causes them to bump up just a little bit. But looking up here in front, though, Nick James at number 51, he's continued to stretch that lead out right now, just over a little over a second now, as he's
pulled away from the second place machine there of Lewis Bussa, and Jeremy Enix is still right there with Bussa as they put a little distance themselves between, back there to Dale Reynolds, who's running in fourth, and Timmy St. Jean, who just took fourth away. As Dale moved up the hill a little bit, Timmy went right under him, and looks like Brandon Lowe's in that 91 machine is looking to get up here and put himself in the mix now, who we haven't talked about Brandon much. He's been kind of absent so far this early part of the year. That's another veteran nuffer we've had around here for a few years. Another one of our drivers from Canada. Missed first couple races so far this year, but was looking to put some heat on the 27 of Dale Reynolds, move himself up into fifth as he starts taking a peek in on that inside a little bit. And looking right behind them, that number 55 machine, Dwayne Hall, he's one of those guys came over here with us last year, comes from RSN. He runs over there with those guys. His wife, Angela, running in Hall's on Post, one of the sponsors that we have here. On that 55 machine, he's looking rather racy out there tonight too, running around right now in the 7th place position. Dwayne's one of those guys who, he'll hang around the top 5, top 10 most of the night, and then right there towards the end, he'll be there, and you kind of like, okay, where's he been all night? Now he's here. Yeah, looks like the 99 of Dennis Jenkins there. Looks like he got himself a flat tire. I don't know if he may have run over something down there, or just heated up those tires, or what the case may have been. But either way, he's heading down pit road now for a very unscheduled pit stop. And with pit stop at this juncture, with everything under green flag conditions, that's going to be a very costly pit stop for 99 of Dennis Jenkins.
I'm noticing right now Dale Reynolds is starting to lose a lot of positions. He just lost two positions already to Dwayne Hall and Bruce Turner, and it looks like he's going to lose another couple spots as well. So I wonder if something is wrong with the 27.
Yeah, maybe one of those cases, like I was talking about earlier, right during that caution. The track temperature is heated up now, so that track's going to be a lot hotter than what it was in their practice times, and also what it was in happy hour. So I'm wondering if that, track temperature might not be heating these tires up a little bit, as we just talked about Dennis Jenkins blowing a tire. Might be those tires are getting slick and greasy out there, and might be causing the car to get quite loose there on, Dale Reynolds. So it might be why he's backing it down a little bit and maybe not running as fast now as the car's gotten loose on him. But looking back up here, Brandon Lowe's, he's continuing to, run well up there in that in the 5th place position, that number 91 machine, as he's cleared that pack that he was running in now and has started setting his sights on that 4th place position, number 83 of Timmy St. Jean. And he's starting to close the gap a little bit. So Brandon, he's definitely, whatever's going on with this track right now, with it heating up and stuff, it seems to be to his liking as his car is starting to come to life now.
I spoke to him earlier today, and he told me he's ready to race, and it seems to me like he's ready to win this race. He's got a really fast car right now. Yeah,
he's definitely got a fast car out there right now, as he's starting to make a little time up on Timmy St. Jean in the number 4 position. But he's got quite a few cars following through with him right there too. So as we're everybody's starting to spread out here a little bit. These guys are starting to settle in now. It looks like in the 55 laps into it, so it's looks like we're going to be some green flag racing. So it's going to be interesting to see, like I talked about a lot earlier, how some of these cars will handle and how they'll react as time goes on in these long green flag runs. But looking up here in the front, that 51 of Nick Thames, still continuing to lead the way, has looks like Lewis Bussa and Jeremy Enix have chopped away a little bit at that lead. They've knocked off about 0.2 of a second or so while we were back there talking about lows and such, but they've knocked off about almost 0.3 of a second now. So it looks like they're starting to make some speed now and starting to close that gap a little bit as they start looking towards that front number 1 car once again.
And now the lead for Thames is under 1 second right now, around 8.818 seconds.
Yeah, so these guys are definitely getting some speed out of those cars, running together now. As it looks like Bussa and Enix have quit trying to challenge each other for that number 2 position, and kind of both working together, set their sights on, let's get ourselves back up there in front in that number 1 position. But just saw the 64 there coming out of pits. I don't know something may have happened with his car also, John Lawler. Looks like that was
Yeah,
definitely
I just saw that too.
That was definitely an unscheduled pit stop at this part of the race. So he may have had a tire issue also, just like Dennis Jenkins, who we had talked about earlier, having that tire issue. So might be something going on with these cars in this track today with the heat run up like it has, having some tire issues.
Even with the tire issues, Lawler has not had a great race at all.
No, he definitely had he didn't have the best qualifying effort tonight. Kind of got himself mired back there quite a bit, and
then he got himself into trouble.
Yeah, that he did. He got in trouble with that incident with Jenkins earlier. So yeah, definitely has not been the night he'd been looking for. That much is for sure. Yeah, looking back through the pack here, pretty much about all the cars are pretty much settled in. They're single
We got
file.
a change for the lead.
Yeah, looks like we got Louis Bussa and Jeremy Enix both have been able to get around the 51 of Nick Timms, and so it's just one of those things. It's we talked about earlier. We'll see how these long run cars do and how the short run cars do, and it looks like Bussa and Enix are doing well after about 20 laps or so here on these tires, and it looks like Bussa is even starting to pull away a little bit from Jeremy Enix there in the second place. So he's got a little bit of a gap between the two of them now. But looks like looking back here, just kind of noticed it out of the corner of my eye there, looking over in the garage area. Looks like it's number 42 of Travis McKinney has went back there and pulled it into the garage stall. Looks like he's had they got the hood up on that machine. Looks like some kind of issues going on. Not really sure what it was, so I'm hoping it wasn't the engine at this point in the race. As it's still pretty early here in the race.
I know pretty early on we talked about Ben Bando. He's also now in the garage. I don't know if he had engine issues or what, but his day unfortunately ended early.
Yeah, and now is looking back up here in the front with Louis Bussa still leading the way. It looks like he's starting to encounter some lap traffic now, so we'll see how this factors into things as the number 30 of Kevin Kelly is right there beside in front of him.
Alongside Josh Biddle.
Yeah, the number 76 of Biddle just moves up the hill a little bit, gives him that inside preferred line. So, and it looks like Kevin Kelly is staying right there in the preferred line. Looks like he's going to try as best he can to stay on that lead lap as he shoots way up high there going into turn one. I guess once he cleared Denny Baker, he decided, I'll give him the position. They definitely got the faster cars, moved up the hill, and let the leaders go by. But yeah, that's lap traffic now as they're coming up on a lot of lap traffic. As will start to be now in the next few laps. Could play into a big factor here on now that we've seen who of these cars can hold the best, so to speak, over the long run. It'll be interesting to see who's got all the handling to be able to make the passes once they get into traffic now.
And I noticed too when they were going through lap traffic, Bussa had almost a half-second lead, and then Enix, he just caught him back up, and he's staying with him right now. Although Bussa's got a little bit of a lead here, so. Right,
and like I say, a lot of good racing action going on here, green flag action right now, but we're going to take a quick commercial break, step out. We'll see you back here on NuffWORLD TV in just a couple of moments. Stay tuned.
Link engaged.
Welcome to TeamSpeak, advanced voice communication software for any platform. TeamSpeak allows groups of people to communicate and share information with anyone via the internet or through private networks. Using your Windows, Mac or Linux-based computer, all you need is a headset with microphone, and in minutes you can be chatting with others in real time using our crystal clear voice technology. pioneer in the industry, TeamSpeak has become one of the most recognized brands in online gaming and voice-over IP solutions. TeamSpeak features include a customizable toolbar, a clickable server icon and support for channel icons, custom graphics and VB code-enabled info panes, detailed user info and support for uploading avatars, firewall-friendly file transfer, tabs, public and private text chat with logging, custom skins, themes and sound packs, and much more.
I'm someone that's more than just a casual gamer. It's important to me to have fast, organized, quality voice comms. With TeamSpeak, I'm able to quickly customize user permissions and email a privilege key to an offline user. So the next time they log into the server, they'll be set up exactly how I want them to be. TeamSpeak also lets us do file transfers, assign player rank, insignia, upload avatars, or create custom skins. For me, there's no better choice out there than TeamSpeak.
TeamSpeak is free to use for non-commercial entities. Low-cost professional hosting is also available through our global network of authorized TeamSpeak host providers. For online gaming titles, social networks, government, military, or simulator projects, TeamSpeak also offers a software development kit. The TeamSpeak SDK allows developers to integrate our technology directly into their existing product or service. So no matter which game you're playing or with whom you wish to communicate, TeamSpeak has you covered. TeamSpeak. Flexible, powerful, crystal clear voice communication on any platform.
Welcome back to Las Vegas International Speedway here in the starting Park 400 tonight. You know, while we were gone, looks like we had ourselves another little caution. You know, as we had some nice green flag racing there as we went to the break. But now that we're back, we're going to talk about. I'm going to throw it over here to Brandon Butler, let him kind of explain some of the rules and go over things, you know, with you there on tonight's giveaway with that. What is it? The iRacing credits and gift cards. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm sorry, yes. I'm going to go over just some of the regular rules here, and just so everybody's aware. Let me just see. Alright, here's how we're going to do this. Okay, I'm going to ask an ARCA-related trivia question. Okay, and so for those of you watching, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to go to startandparkblog.com. On the top part of the page, where there's a black bar, you should see the S&P 400 giveaway link. Now, if you cannot find that link, all you need to do is scroll down and go to the Start and Park Blog 400 logo, which is on the right side of the page. All you need to do is click that, and then you'll see the rules, and then at the very bottom, you will see the entry form and the question. Now, I've been getting asked this throughout the entire week. How do I enter this thing? How is this, drawn? And to answer that question, the winner is going to be selected through the random.org application. This is basically a randomizer tool, basically. Yeah, and for those that answer correctly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put their names into the randomizer. And when I put their names in the randomizer and I draw, I'm going to draw the first person that comes up through the application. And the first person that pops up through the list is going to win the $15 iRacing credit.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Great giveaway there from Starting Park tonight. And, as we get back to getting ready to go back to green here, looks like we just got the one to go and such. But we'll talk here in a moment about the, I guess, tonight's winner is going to get a prize also. So we'll talk about that here under the next little break we get. But it's my understanding that's going to be a great prize also that you're giving away.
It really is. We're really excited about this.
Yeah, stay tuned here. Matter of fact, I'll let you tell them that.
Yeah, stay tuned for the question. It'll be coming halfway during this race.
All right, awesome. Like I say, once again, we want to say thank you to the Starting Park blog, for sponsoring tonight's race and for these awesome giveaways that they're having here tonight. Like I say, a lot of great information over there. I know, I was looking at it earlier this week, and there's just so much on that webpage. You guys got to get over and check them out. But we're getting ready to go back to green here. Looks like we got lining up in the number 1 position. There's Louis Busta sitting up in the number 1 position once again with Nick Thames in second, Jeremy Enix third. 4th place will be Bruce Turner, and Timmy St. G was in 5th, but he is making a charge already fast and moved himself up into the number 3 position, heading off into turn 1. So Timmy St. Jean at 83, not wasting any time moving through this pack and getting up there behind Enix and Busta, as he knows they've been fast cars all night.
And it looks like right now it's starting to be a 3-car breakaway heading into turn 3 and 4.
Right you are. I see Nick Thames also has joined in with that number 51 machine, and looks like Frankie Samato in the number 23 is trying to work that inside line around the 03 of Bruce Turner, moving himself up into the 5th place position. So Frankie's starting to come on here at lap 73 too, who's been pretty quiet so far tonight. But as I say that, he settles back in right behind Bruce Turner there in the 6th place position, followed by Dale Reynolds in that number 27 machine. So these guys are starting to get after it already, knowing that they've got to get all that they possibly can here on these restarts while they got those fresh tires before the leaders start getting away from them.
And right behind Reynolds, I know we haven't talked about this guy at all, but in 8th spot is Kevin Hibbett.
Yeah, Kevin Hibbett, like I say, he's having himself a real good run out there right now. Has stayed pretty much trouble-free so far tonight and kept quiet. So, he's running out that lead pack breakaway right now in 8th place position. But the number 91 of Brandon Lowe's, who we talked about him earlier before we went away to break, but he was also involved with that, involved in that caution. So, it's kind of wonder how much damage was done to that machine as he kind of got caught up in a little bit of damage there as he was involved in that caution while we were under the commercial break.
It looks to me as though he did not suffer any damage. Just wanted to point that out there.
Yeah, but the way that car is running, he's moving just like, didn't suffer a whole lot of damage. So, that was a lucky break there on Brendan Lowe's part if that car is still running as good as it was, because, like I say, we were talking about him before we went away to cross for the break, and he's definitely had a fast car tonight. So if he can be able to capitalize on having that fast car, here at Las Vegas, he can help himself in the points position, that's for sure. But looking right behind him here, the number 7 of Howard Wildrick has moved up into the top 10 now. First time we've talked very much about him tonight, as he's been another relatively quiet one tonight who we've seen quite a bit of last week, and also at Daytona. He's been having a good year over here at NuffWorld so far, 3 races in. He's right now running around in the 10th place position, followed in 11th by the 81 of William Robertson in that Target machine. So, these guys are some of those who, have been relatively quiet so far up through the night, but are still having good, solid runs.
Looks like we got a battle for the lead here, Douglas.
Yeah, it looks like Enix is looking up on that high side, trying to take it away from Louis Busta up here, that number 1 position. But
got Timothy St. Jean also with him.
Yeah, he's got Timmy St. Jean down there. He's running right on Louis Busta's. Right behind him there is. These two are side by side coming out of 3 and 4 there,
and
they've been.
Enix is going to clear.
Yeah, Enix does clear him, gets to lead that lap. So as they head off into 1, we'll see. If it's one of those deals where those tires maybe become a factor later on in this. But right now, Enix definitely putting that car back out front, looking just like he was in the very early part of this race. We'll see if he can kind of step away with things now that he's got it up front and in clean air. That seems to be. Seems like that's the key here after these restarts. Once someone gets up there in the front, they can kind of get themselves a pretty decent little lead, kind of run away with it for a few minutes up there in the clean air, and then after about 10 to 15 laps, it's like the pack starts to catch up a little bit. But yeah, it looks like Timmy St. Jean in that number 83, he keeps peeking down, looking to the inside of the number 3 of Louis Busta there as they start coming out of the corners. Just doesn't seem to have enough yet to to capitalize on being able to get under him as he's settled in right there in the third place position. And, you know, coming through the trial over there, he's really able to close it up quite a bit. But it's going to be interesting to. And I'm being told we got a caution out on the speedway here.
Caution.
So we'll go back under caution once again here at Las Vegas. So not got to kind of look back through the pack here, see who that one might have been on. Yeah, looks like Tony Ball may have been involved in that one. So, you know, kind of rewind here, take a look at, see if I can find what happened with Tony Ball. So, you know, tough break for Tony Ball, who's you know, been having, hasn't had the year so far this year that
no, he hasn't.
He had looked for. You know, last year he came out here, was able to win Gatorade Duel #2 last year right off the bat. You know, and gave that young man a lot of confidence, and then had a rough finish to the year last year. But you know, it's just one of those things. Yeah, but looking back at it, looks like Tony was just trying to check up for another car, and you know, kind of
like the 81.
Yeah, it looked like the 81 of Robertson was slow up there on the high side, and then when Tony tried to check up and making a quick move, looks like his rear end just kind of came around on him and got down there in the grass and done a few donuts on the Starting Park Blog 400 logo.
Yeah, I was seeing that. I was just like laughing there. But to add to that, it looks like also the 81 has a bit of side damage.
Yeah, so that looks like something that it might have been one of those long time in the making things, because it looks like it, you know, that had been one of those things that almost, you know, had been finished up when Tony got there, but just, you know, trying to.
Sorry, Douglas. I'm being told that the 91 of Brandon Lowe's made contact with the 81, thus causing the 81 to spin out.
That's perfect. I mean, that's what kind of what I was alluding to too. It looks like, you know, that had almost been a cleared up incident, so to speak, when Tony got there and just, you know, a little too much wheel in it, trying to make sure he didn't run over the 81 and cause him to spin himself out. By the way, tough break there for the number 13 of Tony Ball. You know, he'd been making some good runs. You know, had made a good run so far in this early part of the race, but you know, I'm sure we'll see him back up there before it's all over with. And looks like most of the leaders now are heading down pit road. I don't see a whole lot that have decided to stay out there. So most of these guys have, you know, followed suit and came on down pit lane. And leading them in was Jeremy Enix. We'll see this race off of pit road. We'll kind of take a look at that here in a moment, see which will be the first car out as Ed Wilson takes over the lead in that 88 machine, you know, as they cycle through their pit stops here. So it's going to be...
I apologize. Also, Danny Gutierrez also stayed out as well.
Yeah, and looks like Jeremy Enix is going to win the race off of pit road. But tell you something interesting about Enix, I was just paying attention to, I was kind of taking a look at his in-car cam there on the dashboard. But he's got a post-it note there on the dashboard to save those tires. So that's something to put in the driver's mind right there when you got to put a post-it note on the dashboard to remember to save those tires. So that'll tell you that this track is definitely abrasive on the tires.
Probably better to have a reminder than not, because then you'll ultimately forget, you know.
Right, but yeah, like I say, that post-it note right there on the dashboard, you know, that's something that you're going to be consistently looking at. So that's a great reminder. I know Jeremy, he's one of those guys who, when it comes down to saving tires, a lot of times he seems to be a bit of a genius, so to speak, on saving tires and knowing exactly, you know, under green flags when to get that car into the pits and get some fresh tires on it to make up some track position. As you know, I've seen him do it over the last year and a half. You know, he seems to be able to, you know, he could be one of those guys that'll go in 11th, pit early, and come back out, and by the time all the pit cycles cycle through, you know, end up in a 5th place position. And it's really interesting how he does it. So, you know, he's got a strategy, I'm sure.
It wouldn't surprise me in the least if he did, so.
Yeah, but looking at some of the cars who didn't stay out here, you got the 88 up front now leading the way with Ed Wilson, you know. Also the number 08 of Danny Gutierrez, who stayed out. And Darren Benz in that number 15 machine. Looks like the 3 of those decided to stay out, pick up some valuable track position, which is hard to make here as the laps wear on. Like we saw a little bit earlier, in a long 20, 30 lap run, the tires start to go away quite a bit, and you're not able to make those passes as easily. But we'll look to see, if any of these guys can have any better luck than what we saw so far tonight with the guys that have stayed out and ran on those older tires. And just had a bug here in my ear, so to speak. Had a couple of words coming in across the radio. A lot of these guys, from what I'm being told right now, are taking sticker tires when they go in, and that's what's helping them quite a bit. From my understanding, the last pit stop, the number 19 of Enix and the 3 of Louis Bussa, both took scuffs rather than taking stickers. So they would have those tires with a little bit of wear on them who already had those pressures up.
And it looks like Steve Deo is going to be the lucky dog during this caution.
Right, yeah, and it looks like that 88 machine of Ed Wilson peeled off, headed down pit road on the 1 to go there, and gave up the lead to the 08 of Danny Gutierrez. So that'll put Danny Gutierrez up there, give him credit for leading a lap now, get that valuable point, bonus point in the points position here. So that'll cycle Ed Wilson. He'll give up the lead, and by the time pits cycle through, he's going to lose quite a few positions, but he's going to be out there. Looks like he'll be way back in about the 31st position, but he's going to have those fresh tires now to go on. So doesn't look like he was really willing to risk taking that gamble, as what we had talked about earlier with seeing, these guys that how quickly they pounce with those fresh tires on the guys with 15, 20 lap tires.
And it looks like we're about to go back green.
Yeah, that's getting ready to go back to green here as we're coming out of turn 4 here, just coming past pit road here. So Danny Gutierrez and that 08 machine will lead them off the green this time as we get the green flag and start coming up through the gearbox here. Looks like a pretty good start here by both Gutierrez and by Jeremy Enix out there on that outside. So as they go off into turn 1, looks like pretty much all the top 10 got a definite good restart. There was no checkup there. Looks like Louis Bussa slid up the hill a little bit there on those cold tires.
Yeah, looks like he did, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he was about to have a little contact with, I think it was 83 of Timmy St. Jean there as Jeremy Enix pushes that car of his and that number 19 on out to the lead there, coming off the 4 with Timmy St. Jean following through and into the second place position. And Louis Bussa looks like he'll cycle out in third place down there on the inside. So bringing Nick Timms right along with him also. So, looks like they jumped on Danny Gutierrez quite fast there trying to make things happen as getting kind of hairy back there with Gutierrez now with that 14 and the 03 machine. Both looked like they were about to make it 3 wide there for a moment, but then they were able to sort it out. 14 got down in front of the 3, got single file down on the inside and able to get around Gutierrez.
I just want to reiterate, as we said earlier, when you don't pit and you have older tires, you're pretty much a sitting duck, pretty much. You're going to lose a ton of positions, and, it's just not going to be good for you.
That is correct. Sometimes, you get into that position, but, sometimes, and I know Danny Gutierrez, that's kind of the way his thought process, he's thinking about the big picture. He gets that bonus point tonight. I'm sure we'll see him back up here, towards the front before this is all over with. But those bonus points are so valuable here in NuffWorld, as you go through the year and start getting into, chase time frames. I know Ed Wilson last year, driver that number 88, he missed the chase by 3 points. 3 points is all he missed the chase by last year, and he was very upset about that when he went back and he kind of looked at things, and there was only like 2 races that he'd actually stayed out, led those last, got those bonus points, and that's one of the things he talked about that towards the end of last year that he was going to change for this year. So sometimes those bonus points can make all the difference, and that might have been what Gutierrez was trying to do there.
As a former Nuffer, I have to agree. I mean, bonus points really do matter. I forget who told me this, but every point really counts. So every chance you get, every chance you get to get a bonus point, you might as well just take it, because you never know what's going to happen coming down towards the chase.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, looking back at 2011, going into the final race at Homestead, the top three were separated by less than 5 points, and then, looking back at last year, Ed Wilson missed the chase by only 3 points. So, it just kind of goes to show that every point, just like you said, every point counts. As just saw Bruce Turner head down pit road. As we got a caution here.
We got a caution.
Looks like Bruce Turner heading down pit road in the 03, took it behind the wall, but we've also got a caution out here, so not sure what all went on back there. Looks like we had some action.
We're being told that it's Jimmy Leggio. It appears that with the caution coming out right now.
Yeah, Leggio, who he's been relatively quiet tonight, we talked about too, so it looks like, kind of rewinding here and looking back, looks like he was trying to get underneath the 08 there of Danny Gutierrez, it looks like. And just, that rear end kind of stepped out on him. Looks like he was able to completely spin it around there and, looped it up, backed it up into the outside retaining wall, and once he got it stopped, was smart enough to hold the brakes and stay right there in one position so that it didn't roll down and everybody was able to get down on the apron, get around him, wasn't kind of kept it to a single car thing there so that no one else received damage. Very good move on Leggio and locking his brakes down.
And also a very good job by LaRusso for avoiding him as well.
Yeah, very good job on LaRusso because he wasn't far from becoming part of that one.
No.
Yeah, looks like a lot of hard racing going on towards the back, and it looks like these tires are definitely heating up on a lot of these guys. These right rears, I've heard some radio communication already on a lot of these guys talking about their right rears are starting to overheat a little bit when they get 15, 20 laps or so into the run. So, a lot of that could be trying to drive these cars hard on these new tires as they see a lot of quite a few cautions coming on right now. So they're trying to get all the positions they possibly can and cause them to slide those cars a little too much, so it's definitely becoming a problem with that right rear is what I'm saying.
And as you can see on the replay, with Russo again, did a great job avoiding Leggio. He almost just came in there. Up and it appears Chuck Garcia is out of the race now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Chuck Garcia there. That's very interesting because he had been wasn't having the best run of his night, but he was hanging out there in the top 20, and looks like his car was running okay, but he must have maybe had an electrical problem or something. I'm not really sure.
Or an engine issue.
Could have been an engine issue. I know last week there was a lot of cars had problems with breaking drive lines with all the torque they were pulling out of turn 4 over there. So very interesting and unfortunate turn of events there for Chuck Garcia in number 24. He's been having a good solid year so far up to this point. This is his first early out so far.
And with the caution out, it looks like the number 54 of Charles Chapman now takes the lead.
Yeah, like you said, the 54 of Charles Chapman, he's another one of those that, just like Chuck Garcia, he's been having a very solid run tonight. He hasn't been up towards the front so far a lot, but he's been able to keep that car in the top 20, the biggest most of the night, and stay out of trouble. So, it's always a good night when you kind of get surprised and say, hey, look who's up front all of a sudden, because you haven't talked about them a whole lot, and that means they pretty much kept themselves out of trouble. But once again, you're looking at right there that number 91 of Brandon Lowe's, who we talked about earlier, being involved in that incident while we were under caution. He's moved himself back up there into the second place position now. Maybe, he's looking to stay out here also, followed by the number 40 of Ethan Rondu. So, yeah, those three definitely stayed out as Charles Payne peels off heading down pit road, giving up the
alongside
fourth place
with Josh
position.
Biddle as well.
So we had a few guys. Looks like that 88 who we had talked about earlier was leading the race and then peeled off with the one to go, took those fresh tires. Looks like he's going to be another one to stay out here, move himself up into the fourth place position along with Darren Binge running out the top 5, who had also, peeled off when Ed Wilson did, so with that one to go, giving up the lead. So looks like those two guys got some tires, and, now they're happy with what they've got with only those few laps on those tires and decide they're going to stay out here and, you know, maybe mix it up with the guys up front for a little bit.
I know we haven't talked about this guy at all, but the 67 of Kevin Buchanan is right now, he's in 7th place. So, I mean, he's definitely a guy we haven't talked about at all tonight.
Yeah, Kevin is one of those guys, you know, he's one of those guys, we don't really talk a lot about him, we don't see him up front a lot of times, but he's putting together a pretty solid year so far, 3 races in too. He's one of those guys who's been in the top 15 pretty much every race so far with Phoenix and Daytona, so he's definitely having himself a very solid year, and if he can stay on that solid trend where he's at right now, you know, he could be a definite contender in the chase this year. And looks like our lucky dog, so apparently we're getting the one to go here, so our lucky dog, I just saw that one go around, the number 76 of Joshua Biddle, so that'll put Joshua Biddle, that should put him back on the lead lap this time, so you put that scrumptious machine back on the lead lap and start digging in and getting some positions here as he's currently running in the 32nd position right behind Jimmy Leggio. Kind of looking back here, I know he's on pit road right now, but one of the guys, you know, we haven't talked a whole lot about so far tonight, Dennis Wright, that number 4 machine. He had a pretty decent run there at Phoenix and had a good car at Daytona, but this is, you know, he's been mired back in traffic pretty much so far tonight and hasn't been able to get the run out of that car that he's wanted. I'm kind of looking at him down here on pit road, and he's kind of ducked in. Looks like, yeah, second time in. I'm not really sure if something, maybe something going on with that car, not handling to his liking or something, and getting some more work done on it, because that's 2 pit stops under this caution. So he'll cycle back out, coming out behind Ed Wilson and Darren Benj, who I kind of figured might have stuck it out there, but came in on the one to go. So with that, that'll be giving the leading them down to the stripe here to take the green flag this time will be the 54 of Charles Chapman with the 91 of Brandon Lowe's on his outside there. So as we come down, getting ready to get the green flag as we clear pit road now. So we should see it waving. There we go. Pit flag is now, the green flag is now waving.
The green flag is out.
Yeah, it looks like the 91 there of Brandon Lowe's may have spun the tires a little bit. That rear end seems to have got wiggly on him.
Oh, and we got a wreck. We got a spin coming.
Oh, wow. Looks like the 7 of Wildrick got down on the apron, got pushed down there, but come back up on the track, kind of got a door slam in there, but was able to save it. And we stayed green. That was a very nice piece of driving there by the number 7 of Kevin Wildrick.
I agree. I mean, all I saw was he got tapped from behind. I think it was the 67 of Buchanan, and I thought, oh, we got to spin. Looks like the 40 of Ethan Rondu is sitting inside the infield grass.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to bring out our caution there, but that was a very, very nice job there of Wildrick to save that car and you know, not loop it around and not bring it back on the track too fast and take out other cars. So, you know, props to Wildrick on that. Very nice guy. Very nice job. Yeah, that was that got to be very interesting stuff. Yeah, I've been told the 40 of Ethan Rondu was involved in that one. I'm not really sure. I'm going to kind of take a look back here at exactly what happened with that, but that one came right off the turn 4 as they were coming through. Yeah, it looks like Rondu, as they were coming off of turn 4, there was just, you know, he's kind of having a race to the same real estate with the 12 of Hinkle there with the 15 of Brian Lee right behind him.
And then the 18 of Walt Hamrick looks like from the replay, you know, hit the 40 car.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, he definitely did as the 40 came back up on the track. Walt Hamrick just really got hold of him good. Wow. That was a hard lick. I'm going to be surprised.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, Hamrick looks like that caused the engine from, he's already back in the garage area.
Yes. That was definitely a hard lick, so it doesn't surprise me to see that Hamrick just lost the engine there.
Yeah, that is definitely a tough break for Walt Hamrick in that 18 machine there. You know, he was Came back, his first race back in almost a year last week there at Phoenix, and definitely didn't have the finish that he was looking for. And unfortunately, looks like he's going out early again tonight on lap 99. So, definitely got a feel for Walt on that one. As just kind of moving along, and thought he was going to be able to get through there okay. Everything had happened in front of him, and just wrong place at the wrong time, so to speak, for Walt.
Now the caution is out. We have the 91 of Brandon Lowe's as the leader.
Yep, Brandon has moved himself up there. He's going to be the number one position right now with Timmy St. Jean right there behind him. And third place, Howard Wildrick at that number 7, who we just spoke about with an amazing job of driving right there, is down in turns 1 and 2. But while we're under this caution, Brandon, let's kind of talk about, we kind of referred back to it a little bit earlier, but this night's winner, their prize that's being handed over from the Starting Park Blog.
Oh yeah, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving away a T-shirt, a Starting Park Blog T-shirt. If I'm correct, I believe we're going to be having the winner's car render, as well as their number, their name, and also the Starting Park 400 logo. So really, it's going to be a really unique, trophy for the winner of the race.
I guess you could say that's definitely a one of a kind, correct?
Yeah, I would say that, yeah.
Well, awesome. Like I say, once again, a big thank you out to you guys over at Starting Park Blog, for tonight's sponsorship, and also for for your love shown here to NuffWorld, and for the support, to keep this thing going. As Ed says, Ed Wilson, we had him up here in the booth a couple weeks ago. This is a NuffWorld. We're definitely growing. We started out very small years ago, and we continue to grow throughout the years. And one of the things we've always tried to maintain is trying to keep a very family-friendly environment, and we've been able to do that so far with all the things that we've done. And it's great to have you guys on board.
Well, we truly appreciate it. And while we're on that subject, I mean, like I said before, I am a fellow Nuffer as well, or a former Nuffer as well. And the one thing that really attracted me to this league was the fact that the atmosphere was family friendly. I mean, I think that's the best part of this entire league. Everybody treats each other like family. Whenever we have issues or whenever we need help, everybody's there to lend a hand, and it's just great. That's just the one thing about NuffWorld that I really enjoy, and that is pretty much one of the reasons why I signed on with my partner Michael to sponsor this race as well as sponsor the league, is the fact that you guys, are a tight group, and there's a lot of great racing that comes out of this league. And as I said, we're very happy to be sponsoring NuffWorld, and like I said earlier, we're really excited about this partnership, and we're really excited about overall the race in general. And so far, it's really been a great race. So.
Right, and for those of you who may be tuning in, tonight to NuffWorld TV for the first time, maybe you've seen a banner or a post or something on Facebook, or tuning in from a friend. That's kind of how we've gotten ourselves known, is word of mouth, so to speak. But you can go over and check out our website, www.NuffWORLD.com. I mean, we run not only here on the PC with our racing side, we've got FIFA 13. Madden leagues, Major League Baseball leagues, NBA leagues, NHL leagues, Street Fighter fights, Tiger Woods PGA, all kinds of stuff going on with our Xbox stuff too. So, I mean, there's something for everyone. It's not just all racing. So, get over there, check us out. If you want to become a member, we'll be more than glad to have you aboard as we continue to grow here. But looks like we're doubling up here on the back stretch. Getting ready to come to green here again, and as a pit stop cycled through with this most recent caution, Timmy St. Jean is going to be the man on point up there in the number 1 position, followed by let's say on his outside, the number 7 of Harold Wildrick, followed by the number 67 of Kevin Buchanan, and then Nick Tim, Louis Buster, Dale Reynolds, Dominic DeRusso, Frankie Samantha, Tony Ball right now running up there in the 11th place position, so he's able to recover from that incident earlier pretty well here as we get ready to come down and take the green flag. There we go. We got the green flag up in the air, and it looks like Timmy St. Jean got himself a real good jump on the start there. He was able to get out, and McKenna down there on the inside with him gave him a little bit of a shot too to push clear him out past the number 7, Howard Wildrick. And now Lewis Buster's following through on the inside, looking to take over the number 3 position, followed by Dale Reynolds down there on the inside. So we go 2 by 2 down into turn 3, and it looks like Buster should clear Wildrick here as Wildrick slides down, drops in between Buster and the 27 Dale Reynolds. So, you know, cars are starting to jockey around and get all they can as quick as they can here. So Timmy St. Jean leads the way down into turn 1. But looking right there at 67 of McKenna, he was able to move himself into second place through all that, and is now, running around the second place position. He's been relatively quiet all night, but looking to get up there and mix it up with the guys now up front a little bit. As we got right now, Timmy St. Jean still leading the way here. Kevin McKenna in second, Lewis Buster in third, Howard Wildrick fourth, and rounding out the top 5, Nick Tim. So we got a little bit of a shakeup up here in the front now. Kind of looking through here, looking 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, so far on back, from Montreux on, it looks like they're pretty much running 2 by 2s back through here. Everybody's fighting for position, trying to get what they can. There's Tony Ball, number 13 there. We talked about him earlier, moving himself up. He lost a couple positions there once that green flag flew. I don't know if he didn't get the best restart or what, but he's down the inside, followed by the 19 of Jeremy Enoch. So Jeremy has fell quite a few positions back through that round of pit stops, back into the 14th position now and looking to work his way back up towards the front. He's followed there by the number 8 of Christian Vasquez. So, Christian, is definitely not having the kind of run he had looked for tonight, as we saw him up towards the front there a little bit earlier, but seems like he's been mired back in traffic for the last about 50, 60 laps or so. But Timmy St. Jean continuing to lead the way up here in the front, but Lewis Buster has been able to move himself around to 67 of Kevin McKinnon and move into the second place position now. So Buster is starting to set sights on Timmy St. Jean in the number 83. It looks like Ethan Rondu's down on the apron there. It looks like he having some kind of issues with that car. It just doesn't seem to be running for him. I don't know if he's lost an engine or maybe lost an electrical box or something, but for whatever reason he was down on the apron there in the trials. But Lewis Buster is definitely making up a lot of ground on Timmy St. Jean right now, and it won't surprise me here in the next lap or so to see him make a move on Timmy St. Jean to try to put that number 3 back up front again. So that's just. And as we see right there, Ethan Rondu's still limping around on the apron. He's definitely got the wounded car tonight, so definitely not the night he was looking for. But surprisingly, I really thought to see Bus put a challenge on for that number 1 position already, but he settled in pretty comfortably right there behind the number 83 of Timmy St. Jean as they're starting to open up about a 4/10 of a second, almost half a second deficit between second and third back there to Kevin McKinnon. So these guys are staying single file and starting to run away a little bit. But looking back here, in number 27 machine of Dale Reynolds, he's moved himself up into the 6th place position and is now starting to look at putting a move on the number 7 of Howard Wildrick to try to get back into that top 5 position. But Dale's one of those guys that started his race. We talked quite a bit about him up there running, up in the front with Lewis Buster and also with Nick Timms, but he's like the last 40, 50 laps or so, he's been kind of 5th through 10th, so he may have had some issues going on with that car we don't know about at this moment, but definitely isn't making the same kind of speed and horsepower as these Lewis Buster and Nick Timms. But as we look back up front here, looks like Lewis Buster and Timmy St. Jean have now pulled out to almost a second lead over the 3rd place machine as Lewis Buster continues to look down on that inside, but hasn't yet decided to make a move, to try to challenge for the lead as he continues to follow Timmy St. Jean at 83 on the round. But Timmy's he's definitely keeping that car down on the bottom. Looks like we got ourselves another caution out on the track there. Kind of look back through the pack here, see what we can see. Is I don't not really sure exactly who that one might have been on, or who kind of had some issues there. But yeah, I'm kind of looking back through the pack here, see if I can figure out what happened exactly. Okay, looks like, kind of looking back through the pack here a little bit. Looks like Brandon Lowe's became involved as a bit later. Looks like happened right up around, not really sure. Yeah, looks like we got two cars spinning there about the same time. I'm seeing quite a few cars involved in it here. Happened right in front of Jimmy Leggio and Charles. Looks like Charles Payne was, up there as we're coming out of turn 4 there. Payne's up against the wall spinning. I'm not sure what caused him to get that. We'll have to look at that in a moment. But looks like he kind of slid back down the track after he bounced off that wall. Kind of collected Brandon Lowe, possibly even Kevin Kelly Jr., Jimmy Leggio. Gutierrez was able to shoot down across the grass there. Mowing the yard, so to speak, and get that car to safety, so to speak. But yeah, definitely interesting scenario there. Quite a few cars were about to be, mixed up and involved in that one. So a lot of cars looks like they escaped scot-free there. But looks like Brandon Lowe's got some damage on the right side of that car. I see him kind of coming around here. He's got that car smoking right now off that front tire. And Brandon Lowe's definitely took a hard shot there. Like I said, is looking at his car here, it's smoking heavily coming around the track right now. He may have a tire down, or at least a tire rub against that fender. So he pushed the fender in, took some significant damage. It's going to take don't be surprised to see him with an extended stay here on pit road this time.
As we just talked about Lowe's, he's had an up and down night. I mean, he's been up towards the front, and then I believe he had an incident before this incident that just occurred. Yeah, he was involved with Robertson, excuse me, on lap 79. So, I mean, really, he's had an up and down night.
Yeah, and looking up at the race off pit road here, looks like Lewis Buster got spun coming off the pit road, or spun out, one or the other. I don't really sure what happened with that, but he's going to lose a lot of positions. Had a good run, but he spun that car right in front of Dale Reynolds as Reynolds was trying to get off his out of his pit box too. So Reynolds was lucky to get away with no damage there also. So very a lot of action even going on down on pit road right now as Buster. Yeah, it looks like a 30. Lewis Busta may have got a little bit of a 27 there on that.
Yep.
But in amongst all that, our leader right now stayed out, under that caution, number 7 of Howard Wildrick, as we talked about earlier, having that awesome save down there. But looks like himself and the number 88, Ed Wilson, will go ahead and duck off here, head down on the pit road. So they'll give up the lead to it. Looks like it'll be Dennis Wright here who will take over the lead, and followed by Benj in the number 15 machine.
And also to add, it looks like Dale Reynolds is coming down pit road for a second pit stop, maybe to look at the damage and see if maybe they need to fix it or they need to make some more adjustments on the car.
Yeah, it didn't look like Busta may have got him there for a little bit, but I don't think there was a whole lot of damage done, to either car there. So, definitely lucky break for him. But like you said, Reynolds going to go in, and it's always better safe than sorry, so to speak, here underneath these cautions. Get that car checked out, make sure there isn't any major damage to that machine that's going to affect him, later on. I'm kind of looking at his car here. Doesn't look like there's much damage done, so he got pretty lucky there in that one, that there wasn't some damage done that would hinder that car tonight.
Yeah, it didn't look like I saw any damage on the car, so yeah, you're right. He really got lucky there. He's really fortunate that he didn't run right into the 3 of Bussa and get front end damage, because that probably would have been pretty bad. It would have probably ended his chances of winning the race.
Yeah, and looking down here on pit road, parked like 2-3 stalls behind him, Lewis Bussa is once again, he's in too right now. So both of those guys getting some work done. Looks like getting 4 fresh tires, kind of checking those cars over. So it's going to be interesting to see with those two guys. They've been up, within the top 10 pretty much all night long. So as these pit stops cycle through, under this caution, they're going to be running about the 29th, 30th position. So it's going to be interesting to see if their cars change any back there in that lap traffic and that dirty air, so to speak, as they've gotten used to being up front all night, having plenty of clean air. So the cars, we'll have to keep an eye on that, see if their cars are handling different, if they start having some issues with those cars.
And right now, under the caution, the 67 of Buchanan is leading right now.
Yeah, he was one of those cars that decided to stay out, didn't come down pit road, so he's going to be able to, get a few laps led there under the caution. But the number 83 of Timmy St. Jean has moved himself now up into the number 2 position, followed by the number 16 of Brian Lee and the 51 of Nick Timms. And rounding out our top 5 right now on this restart will be Todd Layton, who's having a pretty nice recovery. He's been a quiet one tonight too, also, but we haven't talked a lot, but has been there quite a bit. And we're coming down here in out of turn 4 here, coming by. Looks like we're about to get the green flag, so we're about to go back to some green flag racing here. So it's going to be interesting to see. There's the green flag in the air, so
Yep.
See how that 67 machine does, as he got a good jump there. Looks like Timmy St. Jean. Yeah, Timmy just didn't seem like his car got going at all, and kind of checked up that outside line a little bit as Nick Timms also clears Timmy St. Jean, moves himself into the second place position, but Buchanan looked like he was shot out of there like a rocket.
Indeed, it was just like he had NOS on his car or something. It's like a rocket, and he's like gone in like not even 0.5 seconds. So, and it looks like Timms is right on the 67's bumper, challenging him for the lead there.
Yeah, Timms is he's got a fast car tonight. There is no doubt about that, as he has moved right up on the bumper with a 67 and Buchanan now starting to take a look inside. Looks like he'll try to take him on the inside here, going into 3 and 4. So yeah, it's going to get real interesting as 67 up on that high side and to slow up quite a bit, to get in that corner and risk overdriving it. So Timms goes around him and is going to lead this lap. And Timmy St. Jean pulls right up on the bumper at 67 and looks like he's looking to make a move on him also.
Same thing with Brian Lee. He's looking like he's, hungry to get to the front as well, as he's about to pass the 83 of Timmy St. Jean.
Yeah, looks like, wow, St. Jean has a heck of a run coming down that backstretch right there, and looks like he may have given a little love tap there to that 67 of Buchanan and is now moving under him as he almost lost that position to Brian Lee there coming into the, starting to enter down to the backstretch.
From what I saw, too, the 16 almost made contact with the 83 of St. Jean also heading into turn 4 there, it looked like.
Yeah, but with all this going on, you look at that leader of number 51 of Nick Timms. He has just he's gone. He's at another lead, so he's got close to a second lead there already. So he's pulled that thing out and took advantage of all this jockeying for position going on behind him and started walking away with this thing.
I mean, Timms definitely got a nice car.
And one of those guys, I'm kind of looking back here in the 6th place position, that number 19 machine. We talked about him a lot earlier in the race. Jeremy Enix, he's fighting clawed his way back up into the 6th position now and is trying to challenge Frankie Tomato for that number 5 position. So nice recovery so far tonight for the number 19 of Jeremy Enix. But in the meantime, it looks like Timmy St. Jean and Brian Lee have kind of settled things between the two of them. As looking back here again, Jeremy Enix clears Frankie Tomato, moves up into the number 5 position and done it on the outside, which is something we don't see a lot of here so far tonight at Vegas. Enix made that pass on the inside and is now right there on top of Kevin Buchanan. And it looks like he's going to take that outside and go right around Buchanan here in 1 and 2 also.
Yep, he's still fighting for that spot there. And it looks like he might clear him here once he gets that run down the middle.
Yeah, it looks like running that high side, if you can make it work, like Enix seems to be right now, you get such momentum, you know, because you don't have to pinch that thing down on the inside, but you can.
Yeah, when you're on the high side, you know, exiting the turn there, you're going to get a really good run going down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Ian's been doing, getting a real good run down those down the front stretch and the back stretch, coming off that high side there. We saw him clear the cannon there, and he's setting price. It looks like on the number 16 car, Brian Lee now. But in the meantime, looking back up here in the front, Timmy St. Jean has whittled quite a bit of that lead off that Nick Timms had there for the first 5 or 6 laps of this run, and has moved up within 0.2 of a second now. As Timmy didn't really have a very good restart, but you know has been steadily making it now, and is starting to pick up a lot of time here on that 51 machine. As he currently shows about just under 0.3 of a second now, and Brian Lee running back there in third, just over half a second. So things are starting to tighten up a little bit here on the front. I don't know if maybe Timms is trying to save the vehicle a little bit, taking it easy, or you know if these guys have finally got the air pressures and such in those tires and got them running again. Right.
Did very well. And it looks like in the 12th position, looks like in the 12th position we got Louis Bussa. He's making his way back up towards the front after an incident on pit road with, I believe it was Dale Reynolds there.
Yeah, we were looking at that incident there a little bit earlier. Louis Bussa, since that has happened, and had to make that second pit stop. Him and Dale Reynolds both came out of the pits in, I think, 29th or 30th position between the two of them. And Louis Bussa has now worked his way back up to the 11th place position, while Dale Reynolds, he's made it up to the 16th position now. So these guys are definitely moving through traffic, but Louis Bussa seems to be, moving through a lot easier and a lot faster than what Reynolds has so far. So, he's looks like Louis Bussa has now gained 15 positions since that restart. So he's definitely knocking things off here and trying to get back up to the front. He definitely likes leading these races. He's said it quite a few times before. But looking up front here, the number 51 of Nick Timms and Timmy St. Jean, they're still running fairly close to each other, but they pulled away from that third place machine of Brian Lee as they just went underneath the number 40 of Ethan Rondeau to put him a lap down. So definitely Rondeau at 40 is not having the night he was looking forward to having here tonight.
No, he isn't, and I talked to him right before the race, and he said he had a good car, and he was hoping for a good run, and unfortunately, he just hasn't had that run.
Yeah, and I was just glancing over here in the garage area. Looks like that number 91, of Brandon Lowe's, who we talked about quite a few times. He was really eager to get out here tonight, get on the track, and get back to racing. Looks like he had some engine issues, so. He may have, of course, he was involved in that one incident a little bit earlier, so it looks like he's off the track now and put that thing back in the garage area. So,
I mean, it's very unfortunate for Lowe's. I mean, like I said earlier, he's been having a good run, and then he just gets into trouble. So really, it's really unfortunate to see Lowe's there, starting to really struggle now. It's pretty unfortunate.
Well, it looks like he's out there on pit road, so to speak, right now. He hasn't taken it behind the garage yet. Looks like they're going to try to take a look at it, see if they can fix whatever it is that's ailing that car, keep that car in the race at least. But he's definitely got some issues with the car, so let's go put him a few laps down. And now see, he's just took it behind the wall, so looks like he is parking it for the night. But yeah, it looks like looking back here now at the third and fourth place machines, the 16 and the 19 of Brian Lee and Jeremy Enix, as Enix has made his way up right behind that Brian Lee now, and looks like here in the next couple of laps he's going to be looking to challenge for that position and try to get back up there and try to set sights on those front two who have steadily just continued to pull away from everyone else. And Jeremy getting down there in the corner seems like he gets a real nice run coming down into the corners. And as we see here, is starting. Well, he started to take a peek out there on that outside, but then thought better of it.
Looks like he's taking the lowly now.
Yep, he's definitely doing that. He's moving it down onto the inside, trying to get underneath that 16 machine of Brian Lee to move into the third position. So Jeremy,
And he just
looks
took
like,
it.
yeah,
Yep,
Jeremy
he just took it.
Jeremy was taking that high side and looking really good out there on the high side when he had those fresh tires. But looks like as the tires have worn a little bit, he looks like he's more comfortable down on the inside now. But looking back up here in front, I'm telling you, Nick Timms and Timothy St. Jean, you know, these two guys are still running 1 and 2 and just kind of running away with things. They really haven't had a whole lot of change there in their positions, and they're just continuing to, like I said, run away with it and stay up there in the front and stretch it out. I'm kind of looking.
Oh, no, you can go ahead.
But yeah, it looks like I'm just kind of sitting here thinking about we'll have 137 now, so we're getting pretty close to that halfway mark there, Brandon. If you want to, throw out that prop and give away that what was it, $15 iRacing certificate. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And so, without further ado, I'm going to explain the question. And then after I do that, you guys will be able to go to NuffWORLD.com and you will be able to enter the giveaway. So again, without further ado, here is the trivia question. From 1953 to 1960, only 4 drivers have won the ARCA Championship. Name those 4 drivers. That is the trivia question that we're using to give away the iRacing gift certificate. And for those that missed it, I will repeat it again. From 1953 to 1960, only 4 drivers have won the ARCA Series Championship. Name those 4 drivers. Again, you guys can go to StartingParkBlog.com. There will be a link at the very top of the page under a black bar. It should say S&P 400 giveaway. And if you cannot find that, you can also click the Starting Park Blog 400 logo. All you got to do is just scroll down a tad and look on the right side corner of your screen there. So with that, I just want to wish everybody the greatest of luck, and stay tuned because near the end of the race we will announce the winner of the iRacing gift certificate.
That's awesome. That's a good trivia question too. That's one I think I would probably have to Google myself. So definitely found yourself a good hard question there, because I was thinking it would be something with the Sprint Cup, but you went ARCA on us, which we do run the ARCA platform. So very good choice of questions.
I tried to throw a curveball there, so.
Yeah, that threw a curveball to me because I was expecting a Sprint Cup question. So you definitely threw the curveball to me, and I swung and missed on that one. But kind of looking back here in the pack a little bit, back in 10th place, one of the guys we talked about having a much improved year versus what they were earlier in the year. But that's number 32 machine of Justin Barden. Once again, he's in the top 10 now, and looking to move up further, I'm sure, before this is all over with. But once again, having himself a real nice race out here, a real smart race, taking care of the car and making the best out of the night. As others have had some a little rough luck here tonight, but Justin is definitely running a very smart race there in that Monster Energy machine, and moving himself into the top 10 tonight. He's been relatively quiet, but definitely having a solid run.
Yeah, indeed, he's having.
Yeah, looking back up here at the front, though, looks like Timmy St. Jean has moved up on to the number 51 of Nick Timms, and is getting a real good run right now out of his corner.
Now he's challenging for the lead.
Yeah, looks like Timmy St. Jean is going to put that number 83 machine right back out in front. It looks to me, it looks like the 51 may have scraped the wall there coming off of turn 4. Not really for sure, but from this angle, it looked like he may have got a little brush to that wall, give it a little kiss, and Timmy was able to motor on by now and put himself out there in that number 1 position. Be interesting to see now, though, St. Jean, as both of these guys have been running extremely fast, having some real good lap times. Jeremy Enix has been able to move himself into 3rd, but has kind of got bogged down there, you know, as he's, it's 1.4 seconds I'm showing behind the leader, Timmy St. Jean, right now. So St. Jean and Tim's have really been setting a very good pace here, and you know, getting those cars out front and getting them away from the pack. As Tim's looks like he is not content yet with running in 2nd. He's getting real good runs down there in the latter half of that corner just before the exit, and seems to be able to pull right up onto St. Jean through the corners, but I don't know, just doesn't have the momentum coming down to get right back up on the bumper.
Yeah, it seems to me like Nick Timms is not going to go down without a fight here, Doug.
Yeah, you could about guarantee that with Nick. He is definitely a hard racer. He will race you till there ain't a tire left on that car to race with, and then if it comes down to it, he'll get on foot and race you.
Exactly, kind of like old Talladega Nights there.
Yes, it is, and I'm kind of looking back here a little bit. We talked about it there a few laps ago, but that number 3 machine, Louis Bussa, has worked his way up into the number 6 position now. So he's steadily making strides. He's about 4.7 seconds off the leader right now, but has worked himself up into the number 6 position. So he's fighting, clawing, and working his way back up there. So you know, there's no cars around him at the moment, so he's got a pretty open track. So you know, he's definitely, you know, comfortable with running like that, but looking to get more positions on for sure. And then looking back a little bit further, that 27 machine of Dale Reynolds, who, you know, him and Louis Bussa were in that incident together there on pit road, just now goes by underneath Justin Barton, that 32 machine. So Dale rebounding nicely also, moving up into the top 10 now and setting sights on Kevin Hibbett, just about a second or so up in front of him. But now, looking back up to the front here, the 83 of Timmy St. Jean still leading the way, but they're starting to encounter a little bit of lap traffic there. As you see, both the leaders just went underneath Charles Payne there in that number 61 machine, and now setting their sights on that gaggle right in front of them with you know, Joshua Biddle and that Scrumptious machine, and Kevin Kelly Jr. and Jimmy Leggio, the 25th, 26th, and 27th machines right there. Looks like they've had to check up just a little bit and slow down, so to speak, as these two have, you know, caught into some lap traffic, and a lot of lap traffic. This ought to be a, you know, if you're Jeremy Enix, though, back there at number 19, sitting in 3rd position, I'm sitting here looking at the telemetry, you know, with all this going on up in front of them, trying to get around this lap traffic. Jeremy Enix has made up close to half a second in the last 2 laps, so this is something that if he catches it just right, it's going to be a big break for Jeremy. It looks like they've cleared the 3 cars that were right there in front of them, that Timmy sets right now on the 31st place machine, the number 64 of John Lawler. Looks like he's going to move up and try to take him off. Well, John Lawler moves high, so Timmy St. Jean.
He's going to give him the position.
Yeah. He's going to be smart and just move high for him, give him the position, let him go by underneath in the preferred line. So, you know, that'll move John Lawler another lap down, still running in 31st position. So, kind of looking back here, looks like Charles Payne at 61 machine, looks like maybe too much damage and maybe the engine going, I don't know for sure what, but he went straight down pit road and right back to the garage area. So, it looks like he's parking it for the night back there in the garage. But lap traffic is definitely starting to become a factor out here as they've gone through the lap traffic now. Timmy St. Jean has been able to really open up some distance between himself and Nick Timms, and Jeremy Enix still running back there about 0.8 of a second or so behind the 51 machine, and St. Jean goes underneath Kevin Kelly in that number 30 machine now and puts another car in between them. So Timmy St. Jean seems to, we're starting to play out in the long run here. St. Jean definitely has a long run car. It doesn't seem to be giving up a whole lot of speed on these long runs as the tires wear. And it looks like looking back here at the number 32 in 10th place, he just got underneath Kevin Hibbett, and looks like the number 8 of Christian Vasquez is looking to do the same. As we talked about Barden a little bit earlier, you know, he's having a very good, solid run tonight. With Vasquez, that number 8 machine followed him through there and moved Kevin Hibbett back into the 12th place position. So these three drivers who are all three having very good nights, you know, running relatively clean and keeping themselves quiet and just running a smart race in this first half of the race as they move underneath the Ethan Rondu machine, who currently runs in 30th. So, you know, looks like Barden is still got something left in the car, so to speak, and starting to move himself back up again.
From what I've seen from Barton, he's been very consistent. Oh, looks like we got a car in the grass. Looks like the 14 of Kevin went through the grass.
Louis Bussa is now kind of looking here. Looks like we got a caution out there. I was just about to say Louis Bussa, you know, is currently running in 5th place, so he's been able to rebound nicely. We'll have to kind of look to what that caution was there. I kind of missed what that all happened.
It looked to me as if the 14 of Kevin Hibbett, something happened and he went through the infield grass. That was one thing that I saw, or I noticed.
Yeah, just as we were speaking about Kevin Hibbett having a pretty clear, clean night and a good night. Looks like, you know, kind of what the mother disaster rears her ugly head, but kind of looking at the you know, replay here, looks like he come off of turn 4, got up there, kissed the rear end of the car a little bit up against the wall there, and tried to ride it through the grass, tried to keep the car under control. But when he come back onto the track, looks like that that bump there coming back on the track sent him around and collected the number 7 of Howard Wildrick. Also, Howard hit him really hard. Wow.
And for Wilder, that's pretty unfortunate because of the way he's been running tonight. He was running up towards the front, and he had that really nice stay there.
Yeah, definitely a bad break for Howard Wildrick here. Like you said, he's been having a very good run tonight, and looks like he's got some. Looks like he's sustained some damage there. Looks like he may even have a tire down or a rub, one or the other, as he's coming down pit road right now. A lot of smoke trailing off of that car, so. He's probably going to have himself a extended stay here on pit lane to get that damaged car fixed. You know, get that fender beat out and pulled away. You know, so he doesn't rub a tire, because that's the last thing you want. You know, it's an engine night with a blown tire because of the rub you got on from the fender.
Before we had that caution, I was talking about Justin Barden. So far throughout the season, he's really shown consistency. I mean, like you said, he's having a great run tonight, but I mean, all season long, it just seems as though he's shown a lot of consistency.
Yeah, Barden is definitely he just off season he's worked with quite a few other drivers and such, and you know, working on some of the stuff, you know, he had issues with last year, but he's definitely having a better year this year. With so far this year, you know. He's got that 3rd place finish down there with the TeamSpeak 500 at Daytona, leading right. 7 laps there, and you know, not a bad finish at all last week, finishing in 15th position down there in Phoenix. So, you know, finished both races so far this year on the lead lap and within the top 15. So, definitely a much better start this year for Barden than what we saw from him last year, and that's going to pay dividends, I'm sure, as the season progresses. You know, keeps having these good runs like this.
Exactly. Usually, consistency really pays off coming towards the chase. So really, if Barden continues to have these really solid runs and to be consistent, I think he might have a chance to make the chase. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, this kind of driving continues throughout the year. He's definitely got a real good shot at the chase this year, and you know, a good chance that, you know, he just got to, you know, once he gets that consistency underneath him, continues running like this, you know, of course. Once you get that consistency and good runs over and over like this, it doesn't take long until some wins start coming. That'll be the big help when he gets down to the chase at that point and getting all those bonus points for the win. Yeah, looking back through here a little bit, quite a bit of a shakeup here in the first few, as far as coming off pit road. But looks like the Enix in that number 19 machine was the first car coming off of pit road and takes over the lead here, getting out in front of Timmy St. Jean in number 83. And Brian Lee comes out third place. You know, he stayed pretty much about even where he came in at, but Louis Bussa moving up into the fourth place position and running out the top five there will be the 51 of Nick Timms. So a little bit of a shakeup down there on pit road as these guys made their pit stops, but that was definitely a nice long green flag run we had going there, and looks like you could kind of tell who was the lone run cars out of that group, and one of the ones that really impressed me with that, even being mired back in that traffic, was that number 3 of Louis Bussa. I mean, he was able to make he picked up about, I think, 20 positions or so underneath that green flag run. So, it definitely shows he's not only got the short run car, but he can get it done too on a long run. So that's something we're going to have to definitely keep watching Bussa and see how things turn out for him tonight. If he can keep it clean, that looks like it's going to be a hard car to beat.
And I mean, we got to say the same thing about Dale Reynolds too. He was also involved in that pit road incident, and he clawed his way towards the top 15, almost close to the top 10. So really, we should also pay attention to Dale Reynolds in the last almost 100 laps, and he might make a charge towards the front too. You never know.
Yeah, that could be a good possibility. Speaking of, you mentioned Dale Reynolds. I missed his pit stop there altogether, but looks like he may have had some issues on pit road or something as he got back out this time in 21st position. So I don't know exactly what may have happened down there in his pits, but definitely wasn't a good pit stop time for him.
And I'm being told that he pitted a second lap, it seems like.
Well, that would definitely make sense then, since if he pitted that second time around, he would lose a lot of positions like that. So Dale's going to have to, as the old adage says, he's going to do it all over again. Exactly what he done the last time. I think he started 25th or 26th on that last restart, worked himself up into the top 10, and this time he's going to be starting back there as it stands right now in the 21st position. So, definitely got his work cut out for him once again on this green flag run. Looks like Robertson will be our lucky dog as we get the one to go here. So it's going to be, if I ain't mistaken, that'll put Robertson back on the lead lap also. So definitely a big break for him, putting him back on the lead lap. So that'll be nice for him. Showing currently right now with Robertson, getting that lucky dog, that'll put 24 on the lead lap. That's a long green flag run. Definitely caught a few people, trapped them down a lap. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out if they can continue these green flag runs like this. A lot of these guys who, tough pit stops or whatever the case may be, getting trapped back there in the back, it might be a bad break for them. But like I say, you want to see the cream rise to the top, as they say. These guys have got to fight their way from 21st, 25th, whatever, to the front. They say the cream rises to the top, so we'll see those guys, I'm sure, fighting their way back up.
And it looks like we're about to go back to green flag racing here.
Yeah, coming out of turn 4 here, looks like pace car is just about to duck off. He's got the lights off that thing, so he ducks off on down into pit road, and they come around pit road here past that first cone. Looks like we're going to be getting the green flag, and we'll see. Yep, there we go. There's the green flag, and it looks like Enix got a great start. Wow.
Yeah, and it looks like St. Jean, I don't know if he spun the tires or what, he just bottled up that entire, bottom lane there.
And that's the second restart in a row, too, that Timmy St. Jean has had trouble down there getting that car going. So I'm not sure if he's trying to start in a higher gear to keep from spinning the tires, or if this car just doesn't have the get up and go on that initial green flag like that. But either way, that's 2 in a row that Timmy has had an issue with restart.
If this race were to come down to a restart, then Timmy St. Jean might be in trouble. He's going to have to work on his restarts if he's going to want to win this race.
Yeah, if it comes down to that, green white checker, Kimmy could be hurting. But I tell you, looking at the restart that 19 had though, he's definitely got a good restart car because he looked like he was shot out of a cannon right there and took off.
And despite the slow start by St. Jean, he's keeping up with Enix there for the lead.
Yeah, he seems like he's definitely got a good car here tonight. And as we've seen there earlier in that last run, under the green flag, even on the long run, he's got a good long run car. So it'll be interesting to see as we watched Jeremy Enix too called his way through quite a few positions and has a good long run car too. So a lot of these guys right now in the top five, Enix, St. Jean, Brian Lee, Louis Bussa, Nick Timms, they've all got some very decent long run cars. So if this one stays green for quite a few more laps like it did with that one, 30, 40 lap green flag run, then we might see quite a few cars once again get trapped a lap down again. But I'm showing right now, as we run, currently right now, 23 cars left on the lead lap. So I'm not sure who I just saw a little bit earlier coming out of the pit lane there, but they lost the lap and put them down a little bit too as Wildrick running back here in 23rd in that number 7 machine, as we talked about earlier, got involved in that incident, just T-boned. But, you can definitely look at his car. We talked about him earlier, how good it looked. He was running up front and stuff, but looking at him now back here in 23rd, you can tell that damage has definitely slowed that car down a lot.
Indeed, and it's, like I said before, it's very unfortunate for him because he had a good run towards the beginning of the race. But, that incident there just, ultimately cost him. And again, it's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, and it looks like that front pack, 8 cars, looks like they've broken away from the rest of the cars. Looking back here, the last car on that big pack there in the front, Danny Gutierrez, and looks like from there back, they put a pretty good little gap on the ninth place machine back there, Christian Vasquez, who's running all by himself, so to speak, right now. And then, right behind him at 48 of Dominic DeLusso in 10th place. So he's kind of started stretching things out here a little bit, but that front 8 have definitely put a big gap, on back to the other place.
One guy who I'm seeing that he's actually, running pretty well is in the 11th spot, the number 12 of Jeremy Hinkle. I mean, we haven't talked about him at all tonight, have we?
Yeah, Jerry, we haven't talked about tonight. He's definitely been very quiet. And up here running in 11th place, he's definitely having himself a good run tonight. Just like we talked about earlier with Barton. He stayed quiet, swallowed and fought, and stayed up there tonight, stayed on the lead lap, and right now running in the 11th place position, right behind that pack we were just talking about with Vasquez and LaRusso, definitely, and right there in front of Dale Reynolds. So, he's definitely having himself a good run tonight. You can't say enough about Jerry Hinkle right now, the way he's running, with, as quiet as it's been tonight. He's ran a very smart race. But looking back up here in front, looks like the top 2 now of Enix and St. Jean are starting to pull away from Brian Lee and Nick Timms too, as we talked about a little bit earlier. That top 8 had kind of stretched themselves out and gotten away from the 9th on back. But
and it looks like Timms just took 3rd spot over Lee.
Yeah, he did. Ducks right underneath there in turns 1 and 2 and goes by. So, even within this top 8 now, they're starting to break apart into single file, little packs of their own. So, with St. Jean and Enix are definitely kind of running away with things right now, as they got a little over half a second distance between themselves and the 3rd place machine of Nick Timms. So, it's definitely starting to stretch things out here, and the cars are starting to really get wound up and moving now. But I'm starting to wonder too. I mean, kind of going back to what we talked about, quite a few laps ago. I'm looking at the track temperature right now. Track temperature has now climbed up to about just over 98 degrees, almost 99 degrees. So, as this track has started heating up some more, it might some of these cars who were handling really well early in the race, may not be handling so well now. And it's to see the
it looks like we're having a battle for the lead.
Yes, St. Jean was looking to the inside of the 19 of Jeremy Enix there for just a second or so, but Enix was able to shut the door and move away a little bit, about a tenth of a second difference between the two as they run. But I'm looking right behind him, that 51 machine though of Tim's. He's definitely making up that gap that was there and starting to move up on Timmy St. Jean at number 83. And it looks like we got rid of the caution out here on the speedway.
Looks like we got a caution, yep.
Have to look at who that was. Yeah, I'm not sure. Kind of waiting on word there. Our cameras kind of missed that on who the caution might have been on, but
looks like the 7 of Baldwick. Or Baldwick, sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, it looks like the number 8, the 32 here. I'm sorry, of Barden. Well, it wasn't Barden. It happened right in front of Barden. I'm sorry, Barden. Looks like the 54 there, Chapman was involved though, as well as, gosh, I can tell what car that is there on his outside. But interesting. Yeah, it looks like Chapman and Leggio kind of got together there, and Leggio. Yeah, it looks like as they were going down into the corner, Leggio was was right beside Chapman there. Chapman may have just split up just a little. They were both trying to go to the same position. Chapman came up the track just a bit. They got together door handle to door handle, and that was enough to send the 54 of Chapman around. And unfortunately for Chapman, spins it around, puts it up on that wall. So that's definitely not the way you want that car to be.
I mean, for the most part, we had a really nice green flag run there.
Yeah, they were starting to, really nice green flag run that was going there, and it was looking, I tell you what, though, going back and looking at that replay, one guy who we talked about a lot earlier, two people actually, one we talked about a lot earlier today, running a smart race and staying out of trouble, at 32 of Justin Barden, which at first I thought he was involved in that one as I saw smoke around his car, but the 32 of Justin Barden and that number 11 of Steve Dale, both getting through that as it happened right in front of them. That car was completely sideways, almost blocking the track when the 32 came through.
And it appears that the 83 at Timmy St. Jean is first off of pit road, and it appears as if Jeremy Enix is having an issue on pit road.
Yeah, something might be going on with that number 19 of the Enix. I'm not really sure, but he's spent a lot of time on pit road this time. So very interesting to kind of find out what happened there, because he's still on pit road.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on there.
Right now, I think it may be possibly electrical or an engine issue. I'm kind of looking at his telemetry here, and I'm showing no RPMs on the engine at all. That is
really shocking.
Yeah, if that's the case and it's an engine, that is a very tough break for Enix, as he's been running up front and running well all day. So, they're popping up the hood on that thing to kind of take a look at it. We'll have to try to get someone down there in the pits, talk to his crew chief, see what's going on. If that's an electrical issue or a engine issue, either one, that's an unfortunate break for sure. As it looks like they got it fired now. As they were able to get that fired, he's just going to beat the pace car around and keep from losing a lap. So, whatever it was, it looks like it may have been just an electrical issue. They had to switch over to that second ignition box, and they got that done just in time. But at any rate, Enix is, going to come out in the 22nd position, but looks like he might have been speeding there on pit road, and going to have to go back in again to serve a penalty on that. But to either effect, to get caught speeding on pit road like that and, still be able to beat the pace car off and not lose that lap, it's worth it, I think.
Exactly, but at the same time, though, when you get those kind of penalties, pretty much it just takes that away, takes away that advantage that you had.
Yeah, but, wow, it looks like they definitely had some kind of issue there with possibly the electrical box or something. But Enix was able to escape a bullet there.
And it appears as though during this caution, Kevin Kelly is the lucky dog.
Yep, Kevin Kelly will be our lucky dog there, so definitely a good break for Kevin Kelly. That'll put him back up on the lead lap in 23rd position. That's another guy who we haven't spoken a whole lot about tonight. Usually Kevin Kelly is one of those guys we see up in the top 10 most of the night. You know, is definitely, I don't know if they've missed the setup here or just had some bad luck, but that car definitely has not ran the way that they had hoped it would here, looking for a good showing at Vegas.
Indeed. He's lucky he just caught a break there, so good for Kevin Kelly.
That's for sure, and that'll put Kevin, like I said, back on the lead lap, so that'll add one more to the mix there on the lead lap, showing currently right now 23 with Kevin Kelly. Getting back on the lead lap. That'll be 23 cars on the lead lap, so you know, definitely a good break for Kevin Kelly.
And as we are about to go back to green, it looks like Timmy St. Jean is going to retake the lead here, coming to the restart.
Yeah, and you know, Brandon, with this restart, I'm going to be watching that 83 car heavily this time and see what kind of restart he gets, because if he has that same slow restart like that again, you know, that could be something these other guys are going to notice too, and try, you know, if they're up there close to him, get on that high line and gather themselves into a position where they can get around him quick if it comes down to a green-white checker towards the end.
Indeed, and as you mentioned that, I think maybe Brian Lee might have that advantage on the high side. I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah, he should definitely have the advantage. We got the green flag there. Yeah, it looks like the 83 once again, as he got a little push there from the 51 of Nick Timms there
but
to get going
like
that time.
But it looks like the 16 didn't get that good of a jump either.
Yeah, I think the 16 may have backed off there for just a second on that one to keep from passing the leader before the start-finish line and getting that penalty. But out of either case, Lee lost the position there and in danger of losing quite a few more, as he's got cars stacked up on him on the inside line there. But you know, once again, for the third restart in a row, Timmy St. Jean was not able to get a very good restart, which is unusual for what we usually see out of that 80C machine.
Indeed, I mean, the last couple restarts, he just hasn't had a good restart. But all of a sudden now he gets his act together. Now he retains the lead there.
Yeah, and he's got a hungry hound right there behind him too in that 51 as Haynes looks to go underneath, and Timmy shut the door right there as he got ready to go down into three. That 51 Timms is definitely looking to put that 51 machine out front once again where he was at a lot earlier in the race. But Timmy wisely sticking to that bottom line where he knows what the third line is, and you know, he's telling pretty much says, hey, if you're going to pass me, it's going to be on that outside line.
And I know we haven't talked much about this guy, but the 23 of Layton right now is in 4th position.
Yeah, that's one of those guys we haven't really talked a whole lot about tonight. You are right about that. So, you know, he's looking to have himself a good run. So, another young man we haven't really spoke about tonight, but we see them together quite. Seems like every time we come to talk to them, they're right there together. But that 87 of Kevin Kelly Jr. is currently running back there right now in the 25th position with old Dad right there behind him. Well, right beside of him now, the Kevin Kelly Sr. and Kevin Kelly Jr. is Sr.'s up on the outside going around Jr. So that's definitely a feeling. I was talking to Kevin Kelly about that a couple of weeks ago. We got a lot of smoke there. Looks like we got a caution out on the track.
It looks like the 11 of Steve Dio is around, from what I can tell right now.
Yeah, it looks like Steve just coming out of the corner there. I kind of caught, as I was looking at him Wade, looking at Kevin Kelly and Kevin Kelly Jr. right in front of him there. He just kind of lost it coming off a 4 there. I don't know if just the back tire might have got hot on him or what the deal was, but looks like he just kind of got it sideways there coming off the corner, and then when he got down there in the grass, kind of got it straightened back up. But, you know, that grass being as slick as what it is, it loops back around to the right, sending up into the track and nose first into that wall. So looks like he's done a lot of heavy damage to that car that time.
Yeah, it appears as though he caught the apron and then he went around.
Tough break for Steve Dio.
Yep,
he was having a very solid run tonight, so hate to see that happening to him. So that's going to be, make things interesting as we have to, once again, another restart if St. Jean stays out. See how the restart goes here with Timms, who is now in second. Timms has definitely been getting good restarts, and he gave a great push there to get St. Jean up to speed on that last restart and get him around Brian Lee. So, Timms is going to be jumping on that restart and getting around Timmy St. Jean if he has another restart like that as quick as he possibly can to get that 51 back out front. All right, then, while we're under this caution here, we're going to take us a quick break here at NuffWORLD TV. Throw some commercials in there, kind of give some of our sponsors a shout out. We'll see you back here in just a few minutes. Look forward to seeing you back here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Stay tuned, Nuff TV.
You know where your world is. I think I found it.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway here in tonight's Starting Park Blog 400. As we're back here from caution, we're glad to have you back. So this we've got about 80 or so laps left here, Justin or Brandon. I'm sorry. What do you think you're looking to see here in these last 80 or so laps?
I'm kind of expecting to see some really good racing here. I know for the most part we've had some really hard racing. I'm really expecting a lot of that to happen here, winding down to the last few laps here. But other than that, I just think that's what's going to happen. So,
kind of looking back through this field here a little bit, and I'm kind of wondering, if maybe there ain't a few of these guys who've maybe tried to save a little bit of their cars and maybe haven't shown everything that they've gotten so far. I'm looking back here in the 6th place position at 08 of Danny Gutierrez. We saw him up front once so far today, but Danny's been having a good solid run. He's been had that car in the top 10 just about the entire night so far, but currently running into 6th position. It wouldn't surprise me a bit to see that guy up there fighting for the lead before this is over with.
No, it wouldn't surprise me either. I mean, he's had a really good run, and honestly, I wasn't sure if I had him as like a pick at all, but I mean, we'll see whether or not Gutierrez actually picks it up and challenges for the lead here at the closing laps.
And I tell you, two other guys I was kind of looking at too they've been relatively quiet tonight. We haven't talked a lot about them though. Is also that number 4 of Dennis Wright, who has had some good runs here at Las Vegas in the past too. Currently running in 4th position, and one that we talked about earlier had some electrical problems, it looks like. That number 19 of Jeremy Enix, he's been up and down all through the field tonight, but seems like he's still got a very strong car.
Yeah, he does, and who knows, we might see him at the end of the race there, challenging for the lead.
Yeah, it looks like looks like we're doubling up here, coming out of turn 2. So getting ready to go back to green flag racing. But you know, kind of explain here real quick to some of you watching at home. Maybe your first time NuffWorld TV watchers aren't real familiar with our rules, but kind of explain some things here. We run with the game cautions on, which is why sometimes you'll see that pace car out there. But we also have a backup to, you know, keep from, you know, cautions coming out on too little of a stuff. Is you know, we also run those game cautions at a very high threshold. But if there is a 2-car incident, an incident, crash, accident, whatever, that involves 2 cars or more, we will call our own in-game cautions, which is what you're seeing here, is why you don't see the pace car out there. And everybody here pretty much knows the rules, and they'll go on the green, which is given by a on-track admin here as we get ready to go back to green. So kind of explain that a little bit for you. But yeah, looks like yeah, getting back to green flag there. Looks like Timmy St. Jean once again didn't get a great restart that time, and Brian Lee once again. I don't know if it's just something that he's not wanting to pass the leader before the start-finish line and risk getting that penalty or not, but for whatever reason, it looks like he gets a good lunge there at the very beginning, and then all of a sudden, you know, after he changes gears and slows down for a moment, but looked underneath him there, that number 25 is Todd Layton, has just moved himself up there into the second place position. Another one of those guys we haven't really talked about a lot tonight, but look at him now up here with 80 laps or so left in the race, and he's up front in the second place position.
Exactly, he's having a really good run. For most of the race, he's been in the top 10. So for him, you know, to be where he is right now, I mean, he's having a really good race.
Yeah, and we're starting to see a lot of these guys here as we're winding down the laps here that we've talked about throughout the night, starting to make their way back up here into the front here again. I'm seeing Kevin Buchanan. He's made his way back up here again. Jeremy Enix, Dennis Wright, Gutierrez, Dale Reynolds, Jerry Hinkle's even inside the top 10. And once again, Justin Barden running around in 10th position right now. So a lot of these guys we've been talking about all night, been up here running, you know, led some laps, been up front, kind of, you know, faded back for a little bit, but they're back up here again towards the end of the race and fighting for a good finishing position again.
It looks like Enix is really having a really fast car on the high side. He already passed a couple already, and he looks like he's going to make a move on this. Looks like the 25 car.
Yeah, he's working that high side on Todd Layton right now. Looks like the momentum he's going to carry off that high side down the back stretch may be enough to, you know, make the pass right here as he does. He's got that good run getting into the corner on that high side, so he'll clear the 25 here, and he'll set his sights on that second place machine now of number 16 of Brian Lee. So Enix definitely got a lot of cars still left he's showing.
And speaking of the lead pack right now, St. Jean already has 6/10 of a second lead over Brian Lee.
That is correct. He's starting to open that up a little bit out there. Got that clean air on the car, and no one behind him close by, so he's got plenty of air on the nose and on the back spoiler of that car, keeping it glued to that bottom really well. So that's definitely working in the favor of Timmy St. Jean right now.
Now, one guy we haven't talked about, and I know we're running through the guys we haven't talked about, but Ed Wilson right now, he's just outside the top 10, and it looks like he's having a good run tonight.
Yeah, Ed's one of those guys that you know, he's always there in the race, and he's probably one of the most courteous drivers you're going to run into, if there's such a thing as in race car driving as a courteous driver. But Ed's one of those guys, if you're half a second behind him and you catch him, he doesn't know you got a faster car. He will move up and let you go, you know, by. But usually takes very good care of that car and is able to bring home a really good solid finish every week. So you know, it doesn't surprise me to see him up there running well tonight.
No, it doesn't. And also, I wanted to add to that, even if, like, you know, you're the leader, he'll give you the common courtesy, and he'll move up the track and let you go by if you're the leader. So, I mean, I have to agree with you with the fact when you said that Wilson's probably one of the nicest guys out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, he definitely that he is. But as we were talking about that, the number 19 of Enix, he's able to make the pass on the number 16 of Brian Lee and moves into the second position and is now setting sights on Timmy St. Jean up there in that number 1 position and is starting to track him down. I'm looking at the the time and the telemetry here, he's just over 0.3 of a second off the leader right now. So he's making, he's got that car in the wind, so to speak, and really got it moving.
Like he's a man on a mission. He's got that car literally dialed in right now.
Yeah, kind of makes me wonder though. He sat there on pit road, you know, he was having that electrical problem, had to switch to that backup box there a little bit earlier. You know, right before that run before, we had saw him drop back in the pack a little bit. I wonder if maybe that car wasn't, you know, getting all the electrical current that it needed and having some problems with running the cylinders and such. And now that he's got that box fixed, has put that car back up here and running like this, that might have had a lot to do with how he was running there towards the middle part of this race.
It could have, man. I mean, with this, it just, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, like you just said, I mean, he had that electrical problem there, and all of a sudden now he's running second, closing in on the leader there, Timmy St. Jean. That's just one of the things I've been noticing lately here. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen, and for Jeremy Enix, you know, he's having a good night that ultimately could have went bad for him.
Yeah, and I'm watching as he came across the stripe that time. He picked up another 1/10 of a second on Timmy St. Jean that lap, so he's closing well over a 1/10 of a second faster than the leader per lap. So as we see right now, he's there. So,
yeah, he's right on the bumper.
It ain't gonna be long until Enix is trying to make a move towards the to take the lead, and he's closed up quickly going into 1 and 2 right there. But I'm looking at some of the speeds at the line here as they came across that time. Looks like that lap as they came by the start-finish line, the fastest car on the track was running a little further back in the pack there. In the 4th place position was Louis Bussa, was the fastest car that last lap. So he's definitely got some car left too, and looking to make a move. As I'm sitting here watching him, he's only about a second off that leader himself, so he's starting to pour it on now too.
If this race continues, you know, to be on your dream, he might be somebody we might have to watch there.
Yeah, could he make it a sweep? I mean, could he make it a trifecta, so to speak? As you know, yeah, repeat. There we go. As he won Daytona, the Team Speak 500, and then won the Vine for Designs last week there at Phoenix, and if he brings it home, that'll be 3 in a row for Louis Bussa. That'd be one heck of a way to start off the 2013 season, and that's a lot of bonus points when he gets into the chase this year.
Indeed, and those wins really do matter when it comes to the chase. So for Bussa to start the season out the way he has, I mean, he's pretty much going to be a solid lock for the chase if he continues to, you know, lead laps and win races.
Yeah, Louis Bussa is definitely, as he's made that pass now, moved into 3rd position, getting under Brian Lee right there, and he's closing quickly. He's only 0.6 of a second behind the leader right now, so things are shaping up that you ain't going to be many more laps to Timmy St. Jean's going to have his hands full here.
Oh, indeed, with the way Enix and Buses are running right now, yeah, he's going to have his hands full, definitely.
Yeah, Enix it just seems like he can get a run down into that corner really well, but I don't know, it looks like since he's moving down a little lower on the track, he doesn't get the same run out of the corner they was getting up on that high side, but he's definitely getting a lot more speed out of that car right now, being able to duck it down in there as Louis Bussa now moves within 0.4 of a second of the leader, so he's going to be right there with Enix in just the next lap and a half, 2 laps at this pace.
Looks to me too, the Bussa, you know, looks to me like he's got a really fast car right now because he's getting towards the yellow or the white line, excuse me, there. So I think right now he's coming like a bat out of hell. I mean it. He's really got a fast car.
Yeah, he restarted that last restart in 11th position, so he's picked up 8 positions as he's looking on the inside of Jeremy Enix now on that 19 machine as they go through turns 1 and 2. So he pulls up alongside. Looks like we got a battle here for 2nd place as they come off the corner down into the back.
He might clear him too.
Yeah, going down into the corner 3 and 4, he clears him. So now he's setting sights on that number 1 machine of Timmy St. Jean out there leading the way. And they come across the stripe that time, you know, Louis Bussa is definitely the man on the move now. It's 9 positions he's picked up since that restart, and I see some lap traffic up here in front of the leaders as Bussa's making the move on the inside, and coming off of 2, he's got a head of steam going down into 3 and 4, so I'd expect to see him make the pass here coming through the tri-oval.
And it looks like Timmy St. Jean ultimately closes the door on Bussa there, as now they're coming up on lap traffic here.
Yeah, looking right in front of him there, you got the 64 of John Lawler and the 40 of Ethan Rondeus, and this is going to get interesting as they're going to have to weave their way through this and have to settle this at a later date, so to speak, so they get these cars cleared, because you definitely don't want to be trying to fight for the lead with lap-down cars right there in front of you.
And it looks like they clear them without any issues.
So now I guess this heavyweight fight will continue now as these guys are heading off, and it looks like Louis Bussa is trying to doing everything he can to get that inside on Timmy St. Jean, and he's got the momentum now going off into 1. He's got the position, so, and Jeremy Enix is following suit. He's looking on the inside too. He was looking like he was going to try to make a move to take over second from Timmy St. Jean, but wasn't able to get the head of steam enough in there to do it. But this is definitely shaping up with about, less than 60 laps to go now. So we got about a fuel run. If this thing stays green, it's going to get very interesting at the end, as these 3 cars have just set sail, and they are in another zip code now from, they have no competition between the 3 of them if this thing stays green, as I can see.
Like we said in the beginning of the broadcast, we really had to look at Bussa, you know, Timmy St. Jean and Jeremy Enix, and pretty much our predictions, you know, are right on the money right now.
Yeah, but one of the other guys, it'll be interesting to see if he's able to make anything up. We talked about the odds-on favorite being the number 27 of Dale Reynolds. He's running back there in 6th place right now. He's definitely the best record here at Las Vegas of all of our current nuffers right now. But right now, he's back there in 6th place, and that car definitely has not been running the same since he had that incident on pit road there with Louis Bussa. So they may have been more damage on that than what we originally noted.
Oh, indeed, yeah.
Yeah, we saw Dale up here running with this group, you know, biggest most of the first part of this race, but ever since that happened, you know, has almost not even been a factor here lately, unfortunately. You know, he was having a good run, but I'll tell you another one who seems to have fell off just a little bit after this last pit stop here is that number 51 of Nick Timms, too. He's currently running back there about 3 seconds off the lead, you know, back in 5th position. He's still very, you know, very good running position, but, you know, just doesn't seem like he had the speed he did about 50, 60 laps ago.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if somehow, you know, they made a wrong adjustment, or, you know, they misread, you know, things on the tire wear, you know. I mean, who knows what happened, but, I mean, Timms is really running really, really well.
Yeah, we're going to kind of go through kind of a rundown here of the field, though, but we talked about Nick James being in, well, he's, as we talked about that, you know, Nick's making a move on Brian Lee, takes over the 4th place position, so, yeah, he's definitely got some car left. He must have heard us and said it was time to go. He's about 3 seconds down right now, but looking a little further back here, 7th place, the number 67 of Kevin Buchanan, running right in front, in 7th, right in front of Justin Barden there, the number 32 machine. As Barden's looking like, you know, he wants to try to make that move himself up into the 7th place position. Looking back here in 9th place, we got the 25 of Todd Layton, putting together a very solid run here tonight. And rounding out our top 10, we got the number 08 of Danny Gutierrez, who we spoke about quite a bit. It's still with about 60 laps to go. I wouldn't be surprised to see him there towards the end of it.
No, I wouldn't be surprised either. He was showing some speed early on, but I mean, with the laps winding down, he's going to have to start making a move now. Otherwise, you know, he might not be able to contend for the lead there.
Right. Looking back here at the number 23 machine here, Frankie Samato, as he looks like he's following the tire tracks there. Gutierrez right now. You know, as they work under Todd Layton there for the 10th place position, looks like Frankie's going to be able to clear him here in the next lap or so. But Frankie Samato putting together another very good run here tonight. And looking back here in 12, there's someone we haven't spoke about a whole lot here tonight, but that number 34 of Ben Britton, he's been relatively quiet tonight, not having the kind of run he would like to have had. Usually like to, see him quite often up towards the front during the race. So he had a incident though back on lap 98, done some damage to that car. So that's kind of slowed him down quite a bit. And looking right behind him in 13th at number 15 of Darren Benj, who was involved in one much earlier in the race there, just hasn't had the speed since then. And right in front of him there, the number 8 of Christian Vasquez, who we talked quite frequently about tonight, our little Costa Rican friend, hanging out up here. But he's put together a pretty solid run tonight, not what he had wanted. Talking to him earlier this week, he was looking to try to put that number 8 machine up toward the front quite a bit tonight. But looking back here in 15th, that number 4 of Dennis Wright, Smoke Racing, that guy, he's had a rough night so far tonight. He's bounced around. He's been up toward the front a few times. He's been in the back a few times. So it's kind of been a roller coaster night for him. And I'm sure he's kind of looking for Vegas to be over with, so to speak.
I'm sure.
But another guy we talked about putting together a very quiet but solid run here tonight. Back in 16th at number 12 of Jerry Hinkle. He's been able to stay relatively clean tonight, stay pretty well out of trouble, and he's putting together a very solid top 20 right now.
I mean, earlier he was up in the top 10, top 15 there, so yeah, he's putting together a really good solid run.
Looking a little further back, the 17th place machine at number 48 of Dominic LaRussa, he just signed a couple of weeks ago with UMFM for the 2013 season, putting together a run here tonight, currently running 17th. He was looking to put that car up towards the front, was looking real good out there during happy hour, but seems like he's been a little loose here in the latter part of this race, and the car just hasn't handled like he had expected it to when the race started. And looking a little further back there, the 18th place position, we spoke about him a little bit a couple of times tonight, running that throwback Mountain Dew scheme there at number 88 of Ed Wilson. Putting together another solid run for Ed. I mean, it's not a spectacular run, but it's the slow and steady that Ed Wilson likes to run. He's always there. He always hangs around. He's always still running at the end, and he's putting together another solid top 20 here tonight, and he's running right there just in front of the number 30 of Kevin Kelly, running in the 19th place position, who we talked about a little bit earlier, just got back on a lead lap in that Yoo-Hoo machine. So Kevin Kelly, the professor is definitely not having the night he had originally expected, as he was out there, I was talking to him earlier this week. He was looking for a lot out of this car here at Vegas, but hasn't been able to get what he wanted out of it. Maybe missed the setup a little bit, as he was just passed by the number 54 there, Charles Chapman, who we saw involved in a incident there a little bit earlier. Got some damage on that car, so that's been to his detriment. Kind of slowed that thing down a little bit tonight.
Yeah, normally with Kevin Kelly, we usually see him in the top 10. So for him, to be falling back like this, it's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, looking back here in 21st, number 37 of Jimmy Leggio, who's currently about to get lapped by Louis Bussa right now, who, running, like I say, 21st position, putting together definitely not the night that Jimmy was originally looking for, as he was involved in that incident a little earlier in the race, but definitely not the night that Jimmy was looking for. Running currently back in the 22nd position is at number 14 of Kevin Hibbett, one of those guys we talked about earlier in the race. He's kind of bounced around the pack quite a bit himself tonight. He's been, up the field, he's been down the field, so, he's shown sparks at times, so to speak, but that car just seems like it changed a lot as the weather went on. So, as the track cooled down and as it heated up, seems like the car has reacted well at times and adverse at other times for Kevin tonight. Then we look back here at the 23rd position at number 81 of Robertson. he was involved in the incident a lot earlier, took a lot of heavy damage. They spent quite a bit of time on pit road, working on that machine, getting it back right. But he's currently being shown, in the 23rd position, one lap down. So it looks like he's going to be able to salvage a pretty decent finish out of something that was looking really bad for him there for a while.
Absolutely, I agree with you there. I mean, like you mentioned, with that incident he had early on in the race, I mean, seemed to think he would probably finish outside the top 30, but now he's probably going to scrap a solid finish. And, for him, that's got to be pretty good, even though the night really wasn't going all too well for him.
Looking back here in 24th position, the first car currently showing 2 laps down, that number 76 machine of Joshua Bibble, the owner of BBBS Motorsports. He's been having a good week, and, unfortunately, wasn't able to transfer it into this run here tonight, as he was involved in, another one of these cars involved in an incident much earlier tonight, not of his own doing, but just kind of got caught up and banged that car up quite a bit. I've seen him on and off pit road quite frequently tonight, put a lot of barrel bond on that car and trying to get that thing at nose, just what they were talking about earlier on the night over radio traffic. That nose of that car just didn't want to stick. It didn't have enough nose weight on it with the damage, so they've been working on that all night and still haven't been able to get it right. Looking back in the 25th position, you got the number 11, Steve Deo, one of the guys who does a lot of these paint schemes that you see out here on the track. We still got I'm being told we've got a car with some issues out there. It looks like the number 15 of Darren Binge has some, I don't know exactly what happened to his car, but
and it looks like the caution's out too.
Yeah, it looks like he may have blown an engine out there. I don't know exactly what happened. Yeah, I'm showing engine failure on that young man, so he definitely not exactly what he was looking to finish out the night. So yeah, that was definitely an interesting moment there. I don't know what caused that engine to explode, but as he come out of turn 4, flames just erupted out the back of that car, and you could honestly see the flames. So Benz definitely he done a very smart move, got it down on the apron, out of traffic, and just locked the brakes down and slowed that thing down as quickly as he could, and pulled it off the side and got out of there. So unfortunate ending tonight for the number 15 of Darren Binge.
Indeed, and I was just going to say too, it was a great move. It was a great move by him to pull down on the apron there and not to hit anybody.
Though I was looking back here, looking up front and such, as unfortunate, Louis Bussa has just completely took off with this stuff. He's got over a 7-second lead right now. So Louis Bussa is really starting to flex his muscle now. Lewis is, like I said, he's definitely looking to make a statement now in the latter part of this race with just over 30 laps to go. He's over 7 seconds ahead of second place Jeremy Enix. So, we're getting ready to come up on pit stop. So, got Kevin Hibbett in the number 14. Looks like he's coming down pit road right now, making that slow, long drive at 45 miles an hour down pit lane. I know, just kind of like what we're showing when we started off the night, that video that we put together, that is a lonely feeling when you're driving 45 down pit road and cars are breezing by you at 170, 180 miles an hour out there.
It sure is.
It just seems like everything's exaggerated. It's like, oh, how long is this going to take? How long does it take to get my pit stalled? And you're sitting there and you got the throttle down, you're waiting for the jack to drop, and it's just... And that's where a lot of guys get in trouble. You get that anxious moment, and when you peel out of that pit box, you get caught for speeding, and that makes a bad situation worse if that happens to you.
Absolutely. So really, you just got to be careful, getting in the pit road. Otherwise, it's going to cost you pretty badly.
Yeah, it looks like the number 12 of Jerry Hinkle now is looks like he's getting ready to come down pit road himself as he's slowing things down, getting down on that apron, and taking that hard left into pit road. So. Starting to see a lot of cars coming down pit road now, so looks like everybody's getting that final pit stop in, try to make that final run to the green, or checkered flag, excuse me, as seems like we're going to get that long green flag now that we've been talking about all night. But in amongst all these the pit stops happening and all the action going on the track, as we've been looking back through the field a little bit here, I'm looking back up here at the front at Louis Bussa. That guy has a 8.2 second lead at this point. So he's definitely got the long run car, and I don't believe Louis has, up until this point, had shown us all he had tonight. He may have been holding off just a little bit.
He might have. But also, we got to look at, also in third place right now is 27 to Dale Reynolds.
Yeah, Dale has, he's rebounding very nicely now, so very good job for Dale Reynolds. As a matter of fact, he's right there with Enix, and looks like he might be looking to challenge for that number 2 position here coming off the turn 4 as he ducks down the inside, but Enix shuts the door on him.
I've been impressed with Dale Reynolds throughout the entire night. Even after that incident he had with Louis Bussa on pit road, he's really rebounded nicely.
Yeah, it looks like, from what I'm being told, I'm listening to some traffic here across the scanners and stuff, driver scanners, but Jeremy Enix, that number 19, is talking to his crew chief about trying to loosen that car up because it's too tight for him as the 27 signals. He's coming down pit road here, so he's going to peel off onto pit road and giving up that third place position, and peeling off with him is the 67 of Buchanan and the 83 of Timmy St. Jean. So those three plan on pitting together, and they're all three in, heading down pit road. But now, I tell you, the way this thing is going with just 27 laps or so to go, the biggest enemy Louis Bussa has right now is himself. I mean, it really is. I mean, he's pulled out to a 10-second lead here over the second place machine of Jeremy Enix, and still working through traffic right now. You know, we know he's got to come down for a green flag pit stop here in the next 5 to 10 laps, so it's all going to depend upon, you know, that pit stop. If he has any issues with that pit stop, he could erase all that lead he's worked so hard to get.
Exactly, you know, I mean, coming down to the last pit stop, you got to make sure, you know, everything's perfect. You know, you don't lose time on pit road, because that time spent on pit road might cost you. So hopefully, you know, Bussa, you know, comes in and out perfect, and he can retain that lead, if not gain more time.
Yeah, that pit road speeding and getting slowed down, everything's going to be the biggest threat Bussa has right now in this early part. But looking back here, Jeremy Enix looks like he's I'm being told he's going to be making pit stops here within the next few laps, try to fight that or try to fix that tight issue. His car has gotten extremely tight on him from what I'm hearing on the radio over these last 20 laps or so, and that's why Bussa has been able to just kind of walk away with it now. But looking at as all this green flag stuff is playing out in these green flag pit stops, I'm looking back here in the in fourth position at number 32 of Justin Barden, one of those guys we talked about a lot earlier in the race. You know, having a good solid run and taking care of his stuff tonight, and he's having a very good run. Currently running in the 5th place, so nice run so far tonight for Justin Barden.
Indeed, as we said, you know, consistency is going to pay off for him. So hopefully, hopefully he gets a good finish out of this. Hopefully top 5.
Yeah, you know, there's some of these guys out here now that are definitely praying that this thing stays green for the rest of the way. I'm kind of looking back in the pack here at the 27 of Dale Reynolds. He's currently been shown a lap down in 11th place position. So, you know, he's one of those guys that, you know, definitely praying now for no caution, as he would be caught in a very bad position. All those guys that pitted together we talked about earlier with Dale Reynolds, Kevin Buchanan, Timothy St. Jean, and even Nick Timms, you know, back there 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, all being shown after pit stops being a lap down, you know. So the worst thing that they could see right now is for a for a caution flag to fly.
Indeed, that would definitely ruin their night.
Yeah, and looks like the 08 of just his pits and run that car around there on the apron of pit road, currently sitting in the grass trying to get that thing refired and get it moving. And looks like he's able to get it refired, boost back up on the track, and we're staying green. Everything worked out well. So let's just hope Danny Gutierrez got enough fuel to make it back around one more time and didn't, try to run that thing dry before pitting.
It appears Jeremy Enix just went to pit road. And here comes leader, Lewis Bussa, too.
Yeah, Lewis Bussa locks it up, gets down on the pit lane now. As you see a little puff of smoke there, he's slowly moving down pit road. So, right now running in second place. We'll have to see if he comes in and decides to pit with the leader. That's number 23, Frankie Samato. As he bypasses pits, he's going to at least take another lap around. So, and look right behind him there is Dale Reynolds. So, it won't be long till Reynolds is getting that lap back, possibly even in this corner right here.
Ooh, it looks like he made contact with Samato there.
Yeah, it looks like he had so much closing speed on those fresh tires versus what Samato had that he almost ran him over, so to speak.
I don't see any damage from Samato, but still, that could have been pretty ugly there.
Yeah, Frankie Samato's signaling now. He's coming down pit road. As he's coming down, he's hard on the brakes. It looks like he was about to miss it there for just a second, but gets it slowed down enough, gets it down on pit road. So,
and they're right behind them there. Barton comes in with him.
Yep, Martin coming in with him, and that cycles the lead through to Ben Britton, who that number 34 machine, who I haven't seen pit yet. So I'm thinking he may be the last car left that hasn't pitted. So we'll keep an eye on that, see when he decides to hit pit lane.
Lewis Bussa right now is in second, so I don't think he lost much time at all. So I think he's going to come out of this all right. He might retain the lead. Or he will retain the lead, excuse me.
Yeah, Lewis looks like he got a pretty good pit stop. Didn't have no problems. I'm being told though that the number 8 of Christian Vasquez got a speeding penalty down on pit road. So kind of add to the frustration of what that young man's been dealing with so far tonight. Having a decent run, and now this is going to really hurt him as he's already a lap behind because of that pit stop under green flags. Now he's looking at being in jeopardy at 2 laps down as with that penalty. So definitely not tonight, as he does go 2 laps down as the leaders just went by. Definitely not the night Christian was looking for, but I'm interested to see this 34 of Ben Britton is, I haven't seen him pit yet unless I missed it somewhere along the way. He is definitely stretching out the fuel mileage on that number 34.
This could mean for a very interesting finish.
Yeah, I don't think he's able to save enough to go the full distance here. But,
no, I don't believe so either.
It's very interesting to see that I figured he would have pitted by this point, but it's interesting to see how many laps he has gotten out of this tank, because he's at least 6 to 7 laps further than what most of the leaders were, and even Lewis Bussa was about 6 to 7 laps ago.
And just entering pit road is the 81 of Robertson.
Yeah, it looks like I'm showing the 54 signal, and he's wanting to come down pit road now too. So looks like we got a couple more that are going to be hitting pit road here soon, and I don't think it's going to be much longer before Britton hits pit road, because he's not going to be able to stay out there and run like this for too much longer, because I've seen Lewis Bussa in the last 2 laps has made up 8 seconds on him because of those fresh tires versus the old tires. Of course, that may be what it is. He could be banking on a caution, hoping to keep that car up there, because right now, as everything currently sits, there's only 8 cars left on the lead lap as it currently stands right now with all the green flag pit stops. So if a caution were to come out, Britton could go back to no worse than 8th place position. So, I mean, you couldn't fight about that. But I tell you, the one guy who I'm really surprised with right now, and you talked about him a little bit earlier there, Brandon, is that number 27 of Dale Reynolds, currently being shown in the 3rd position.
Like I said earlier, he rebounded after that incident, and it's great to see him, again, rebound and, being up there in the top 3 there.
And that is, Dale, sometimes, they'll never surprise me, so to speak, because a few laps back, 50 laps ago, running back there in like 17th position, I thought maybe something was on the car, or maybe it just wasn't going to be the night, but currently right now, being shown, well, he just got passed by the 83 of Timmy St. Jean as they're still fighting side by side there. But
and it appears
showing
the 34 is coming in.
Yep, 34 is signal. He's coming to pits. He's down on the apron, coming down pit road there, making that left-hand turn, and that'll cycle the lead back to Louis Bussa in that number 3 machine. So I think Britton may have been banking there on a caution happening, and he really stretched that fuel a long way now with about 10 laps to go.
And with that now, Bussa's got a 9-second lead over Timmy St. Jean, so perhaps this could be a three-peat for Louis Bussa unless a caution comes out.
Yeah, barring a caution coming out, I don't see, like I say, of course, then again, right now, the worst enemy Louis Bussa has is Louis Bussa with 10 to go, as Ben Britton, that 34 machine, is coming off of pit road right now. It's currently being shown in the number 12 position, so it did cycle through for Britton pretty good, being able to stay out there like that. So I'm just surprised he was able to stay out there that long. He got he really stretched that tank of fuel a lot.
He sure did. I was thinking too, like you said, that he was probably banking on a caution, and unfortunately that didn't happen. So ultimately that messed up his chances of getting the win here.
Yeah, it looks like Louis Bussa is well out and well in command of this thing, and the only real fights I see out on the track as far as our top 5 right now is for second, third, and fourth, and Tim St. Jean is kind of walking away from that, but Nick Thames, Dale Reynolds, and Kevin Buchanan are all right there together, kind of fighting for that third, fourth, and fifth place position as Nick Thames goes underneath the 67 of Buchanan there and takes over the 4th place position and setting sights on Dale Reynolds, but I don't think any of these guys, barring a caution, have enough time or car left to hunt down Louis Bussa.
No, I don't either. I think it's probably all Louis Bussa from here, I think.
Yeah, Nick Thames is looking on the inside and takes the position from Dale Reynolds, so moved that 51 machine up into 3rd position now as he's looking towards Timmy St. Jean, the next car up in line. So as we cross the line this time, 6 laps to go.
Right now it seems like the gap from Bussa to second place, Timmy St. Jean, is still 9 seconds. Over 9 seconds.
Yeah, Tim, that gap is almost 9.5 seconds as it runs right now. So definitely a good run tonight by Louis Bussa. And as the night wore on, he was definitely able to get that car out in front towards the end and start putting some lap times down as he's moving through the pack right now.
It looks like the 51 went around.
And that's going to change the whole complexion of the race
yeah.
now. That'll be interesting to see.
And with that now, the caution has officially come out. So yeah, this is definitely a game changer there, Doug.
Yeah, it looks like Nick Thames just went in there and looks like turned right there. He just went into that turn, and looks like, I don't know if maybe that right rear was heated up or what exactly the deal was, but that rear end came right around on him and spun it off and banked it, that rear end right into the outside wall. And as he came back down the track, slid off the track onto the apron, he was hammered pretty good. I couldn't tell exactly who that was that hit him, but they gave him a nice little shot. Kevin Hibbett also involved
there. Yeah, I was
there.
just going to say, it looked like Kevin Hibbett was involved in that also.
So yeah, that's definitely going to change the complexion of all of this, as it wouldn't surprise me now with only, what I'm showing here, 10 laps left, or 10 cars left on the lead lap to maybe see a few of these cars even take the gamble and come down pit lane and put on 4 fresh tires right now.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see who does end up coming down pit road.
But that's definitely the one thing Louis Bussa did not want to see, erases
No,
a 10-second lead there. So, as they slow down and get in behind that pace car now, Lewis is probably thinking to himself, looking right there behind him, he's got looks like Jerry Hinkle in second position with Timmy St. Jean in third, and Kevin Buchanan in fourth, Dale Reynolds in fifth, and Jeremy Enix rounding out sixth place there. So he's got a lot of guys who've been, been right there running with him tonight. As Louis Bussa shoots down pit road, he's going to be the first one to take advantage of those 4 fresh tires. So interesting call there. Well, looks like most of the leaders followed him right down to do the same thing. So now it's going to be all about a race off a pit road on who gets to start on that front row.
This could be the move that wins the race. Could be the pit stop. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm looking out there on the track right now, and one of the guys, I've got to say, looks like has finally, it may not be his greatest finish ever, but has finally got that monkey off his back. So is that number 99 of Dennis Jenkins.
And it looks like the 67, Kevin Buchanan, comes out first out of pit road there.
Yeah, it looks like the 67 of Buchanan got off first, followed by Lee, then Louis Bussa, then St. Jean, then Reynolds. So, good, pretty decent little shake-up there on pit road. But I was about to say there, before we was talking about that number 99 of Dennis Jenkins, hey, congratulations to that man tonight. He's had that monkey on his back for quite some time. Hasn't, been going out early, having some engine failures, getting caught up in other people's accidents. But here we are on lap 264 of 267 tonight, and that guy's still got that car running. So big accomplishment, and I'm sure a sigh of relief, on his end. So glad to see him still out there.
We could probably give him the Ironman award, at least for this race anyway.
Yeah, he definitely got a nomination for this week. Had that, if I ain't mistaken, it was like lap 5 or 10, he had a problem with a tire blowing out on him and spun that car around and done some damage. So he's been out here running with damage on that car at least about 255 laps or so now. So definitely good job out there tonight to Dennis Jenkins. Yeah, it looks like, as we cycle through, looks like Dennis Wright is going to be our leader as we cycle things through. But looks like we got a lot of cars up there who are going to be in that wave around position. So very interesting. So that's going to add to the guys on the lead lap. From what I'll show, that'll leave us, if all these guys take a lead wave around, we're going to have about 18 left to fight for position once we go. But it's going to be interesting to see with some of these cars that are up there in the front right now. The top 3, Dennis Wright, Frankie Samanto, and Todd Layton, all 3 of which did not pit on that last under that caution. As we come down, we're going to be taking it's going to be a green-white checkered finish here. So, it's going to be interesting to see if they can hold anybody off, those guys behind them, off with those fresh tires for those 3 laps that they're going to need.
Just like last week, I think perhaps we're going to have to watch Louis Bussa, because remember last week he pulled out that, spectacular move on the restart there at Phoenix, and that was what ultimately allowed him to win the race. So, he's a guy we got to watch on this restart.
Yeah, Louis definitely, like I say, I still haven't, that was one of the, that one ranks up there, in my opinion, the way he came through that field last week, it ranks right up there. If any of you were around and remember it last year, Danny Gutierrez going 3 wide through the middle in turn 4, coming off of turn 4, takes the lead to go to the win, and that's right up there with it. But you're right, he did have a spectacular move last week. I think it was from 8th to 3rd in one corner.
Yeah. Or 7th, I think it was 7th to 3rd. I'm not necessarily sure.
Yeah, but either way, like you said, that's something to watch out for here with Louis Bussa, because he's definitely got those restarts figured out, and he's going to be starting on that inside line here. But the thing I'm kind of concerned to see here, we talked about it all night long in 8th place, that number 83 of Timmy St. Jean. He hasn't gotten the best restart all night long, so if there's those guys behind him, may have to get checked up there a little bit. But it looks like pace car is pulling off, heading down pit road now. So we getting ready to go back to green here. And as a matter of fact, the green-white checkers. So
here we
there's
go.
The green flag as we head off into turn one. Looks like Dennis Wright got a good restart, as did Frankie Samato, as they go side by side down into turn one. But I think Frankie Samato may have the advantage here, but coming through the middle of the corner, it looks like Dennis Wright motors up, and looks like he's got a good run.
Here.
Yep, Louis Bussa moves down on the inside now. He's going to make it three wide going into the corner. And he does. Oh, and he touches. Oh, my goodness. Looks like we're still green, so looks like we're coming down.
Right. Here we go.
Yep, he's going to make the pass right here. And we get the white flag. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh, this is going to be interesting to figure out. Because they were like almost equal towards the line there.
Yeah, it looks like the pace car has come out, so we're going to extend this thing for another green-white checker. So,
oh boy!
Wow! And just like you said, Brandon, you know, Louis Bussa, what did he do from 7th, I think it was, to 2nd in a lap?
No, I believe it was 6th, but still, it was again. He pulled off a great move there, heading into the turn one.
So, once again, 2 weeks in a row, Louis Bussa making a charge right there on a green-white checker. And once again, this week, almost like last week, another played out, another green-white checker. So now, he's going to start with those fresh tires in 2nd place with Wright. Then I'm most likely to take that inside with the older tires. So, it's going to be interesting to play out. But, I mean, you know, if you're Dennis Wright, worst-case scenario right now, you're not in a bad spot. I mean, out of the way, had that finished out, he'd have had a 2nd place finish. So the gamble, I think, was well worth it for Dennis Wright with the way his car is ran tonight.
Absolutely, but now he's going to have Louis Bussa on the outside, so I mean that could go against him.
I would hate to be. I can imagine the nerves and the rack nerves inside those cars right now.
Oh yeah, I agree. You know, it's been a really exciting race, and now that we're coming down to the end here, you know, these guys definitely got their blood pressures up. You know, their blood pressure's up, and their heart rates are probably, you know, really high. So it's going to be a great finish here.
You know, that's the thing about it. There is no other feeling like winning one of these races. I know I talked to Christian Vasquez, and I've done an interview with him after I can't remember which race it was he won, but that young man, you know, you could just hear it in his voice. He was jittery. He was like a young little schoolgirl. I hate to put it in those terms. Like a little schoolgirl. I asked him, you know, what were you thinking during that last lap? He's like, I wasn't even thinking. My heart was in my throat. I was just white knuckling the steering wheel. I didn't know. I couldn't even breathe the whole last lap. So, you know, it's definitely one of those nerves get the better of you here. And, you know, coming off of this one more green-white checker, you got 2 more laps to do it in. You know, every one of these guys are going to be, just like Christian said, their heart's in the throat, not going to be breathing for the last lap and holding on tight to that wheel.
And I can understand the feeling, too, because a couple years ago, I won at Charlotte, and, you know, at the end there, my heart was racing. I was, like, jittery. I was nervous. I was just, you know, my emotions were all over the place, and then once I finally won the race, you know, I felt better about it. And yeah, I was like a schoolgirl, I'll be honest with you, but I can understand the feeling that these guys are going through right now, and it's a lot. It's overwhelming.
You know, and that's one of the things too that I always take away from. I still kid Tony Ball a lot today, even about his Gatorade duel number 2 win, which he loves to tell a story about winning that, but. You know, it's just one of those things. They can never take it away from you. And Tony Ball still talks about that, still relishes the day he won that Gatorade Duel number 2, and also the Talladega Aaron's $4.99. But it looks like we're starting to double up here. We might be getting ready to go back to green, so things are definitely going to get quite interesting here as we go back for a green-white checkered here. But quite a few cars up there. You know, we're talking about, of course, first place there with Dennis Wright. And running currently in 2nd will be Louis Bussa, which I'm thinking Louis will probably end up starting, you know, on that outside line.
Yeah, and he'll more than likely have the advantage here.
And in 3rd place, you're looking at Brian Lee, who's had a good run all night long. looks like Kevin Kelly is going to be our lucky dog. So, you know, we're about to get things sorted out here and get back to green real soon. But looks like that green flag's been waved off while we're getting everything situated. So we're going to take one more lap around here, it looks like.
And also right behind Brian Lee there, on the outside of him, is the 27, is Dale Reynolds. Right now he's currently in 4th. I mean, he might go with Bussa there. He might, you know, be able to challenge for the lead there too as well. So.
Yeah, we're going to have, there's a lot of interesting scenarios that could definitely play themselves out with how we've got things stacked up right now as we're coming out of 2. Everybody's starting to kind of double up now, getting ready for this restart. But I tell you, looking back here just a little bit further than what you were talking about, that's 6th place, the number 12 of Jerry Hinkle. I know we talked a little bit about him a little bit earlier today, but that this is a very good run for Hinkle, you know, having a good night out there tonight.
I agree. He's been running in the top 10, top 15 for most of the night. So really, you know, if he can pull this off, he'll have a great finish. Now, before we go back to green, Douglas, I want to ask you, who do you got here?
If I was playing the odds, man, I would have to bet Louis Bussa. But if I was play with my heart, I'd like to see that number 4 take it home.
I'm not gonna dispute that either.
There's always something, I don't know, as my wife always says, I'm a Cubs fan, so I like to root for the underdog. But here we go, we're under green. It looks like Dennis Wright got down on the apron a little bit there, but they able to gather it back up. And there's a little bit of contact. Wright puts that number 4 back out front, but Lee's looking underneath him, and Bussa's looking on the outside. They're about to take it 3 wide as Louis Bussa. Wow, what a move.
And he's going to come down low to the 16. He's going to try to take the lead coming into 3 and 4.
Yeah, it looks like Louis Bussa's pushing it for all it's worth now. And Dale Reynolds at 27 is pushing right underneath along with Bussa. Looks like he's trying to follow his tire tracks through, so this might come down to a 2-car race at the end. And there's the white flag. Wow, this one is definitely getting interesting. As looks like Smoke, that number 4 machine, has been left hanging out there on the high side, not been able to get back down yet. So he's definitely up there in place he doesn't want to be, so that's definitely not where he wanted to be. But Louis Bussa up here in the front, he just took off and kind of left it, so to speak. So it's going to be, it looks like it's going to be a Louis Bussa with the 3-peat.
Looks like, yep, Louis Bussa just won the Starting Park Blog 400 here. Wow, what a great finish to this race. I mean, wow.
Yeah, it looks like we got cars everywhere back here coming into turn 1. A big pile up back there. But, you know, after everything's over with, Dennis Wright rounds out the top 10, comes home with a top 10 finish tonight still. So, not a bad night on the gamble that he made. Got stuck on that outside, wasn't able to do anything. But Brian Lee will be your 2nd place finisher. And rounding out the top 3, the 27 of Dale Reynolds, who we talked about being the odds-on favorite tonight.
I spoke with Louis Bussa earlier this week, and he told me that he really wants to put the Starting Park Blog number 3 car to victory lane, and it looks like he's going to do that and then some. So I'm imagining he's going to be very happy.
Well, matter of fact, looks like that in 1st place and 3rd place car are both Starting Park cars, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yep, they sure are. Great finishes for those guys. I'm really proud of them. They really ran a great race.
Yeah, very great, very good race tonight. Very hard fought win once again for Louis Bussa, who, you know, 2nd week in a row, kind of finding himself behind the 8 ball, so to speak, right there towards the end with the green-white checkers coming out not once but twice for the 2nd time in a row. So very nice job of driving, very aggressive, great job of driving by Louis Bussa. We can't say enough about how he ran it tonight. And congratulations also to our 2nd place finishers, Brian Lee, and our 3rd place finisher, the number 27 of Dale Reynolds. I mean, both these guys were up and down through the pack throughout the night, but came away with very good cars. So But we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a commercial break here as myself and Brandon try to run down, catch these guys down on pit lane and also down on Vic Winner's Circle and try to get some interviews for you. Stay tuned to NuffWORLD TV. We'll be back to Las Vegas here in just a moment.
Are you looking to start your own professional internet radio station the easy way? Sam Vibe was specifically designed for you. From the makers of Sam Broadcaster, Sam Vibe takes advantage of the cloud to let you focus on what is important, managing and running your station. There are 5 simple steps to get started with Sam Vibe. 1. Sign up for a free account at NuffWORLD.com. No credit card information is required to get a free account. 2. Download and install Sam Vibe. 3. Check your email to retrieve your account information and login details. 4. Run Sam Vibe and enter your username and password. 5. The Sam Vibe Quick Start Wizard shows you the first steps to start your station. Simply upload your music, turn on your station, and tune in. Too easy? Don't worry, Sam Vibe caters for the needs of both novice and professional broadcasters. Sound exciting? Give it a try. Sign up for free now at NuffWORLD.com to experience how broadcasting should be.
Y'all ain't really ready. You know where your world is. I think I found it.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway here for the Start and Park Blog 400. I've caught up down here in Victory Circle with tonight's winner, Mr. Lewis Buss. Tell you what, Lewis, looking at that win, man, it was almost shades of last week there at Phoenix. You know, kind of tell us what was going through your mind there as we came to that first green-white checker, you know, what you were kind of thinking to yourself.
See a hole and go for it. That's kind of what I did. And then I came off one with a really big run, and I think I got below SoCal, and he had somebody above him, so we kind of went in there 3 wide. I went to 3. I did all I could do to pinch it down there on the white line, but I think I washed up into him a little bit and caused a wreck there. So I got to apologize to those guys. But you know, it's just I got new tires. Those guys got old tires. You just got to go with only 2 laps, sitting in 6. You just, I mean, can't just wait. You wait, and you're going to lose. And car ran too good that all race for me to settle for anything less than a win.
Right, yeah, that's one of the things we were alluding to during the broadcast. I mean, you know, you had the one incident there on pit road. We thought that might be something that slowed you down, and we kind of kept a good look on that. But you know, did you get any damage out of that? It looks like the car ran fine afterward.
Yeah, the car was fine. I didn't get no damage. I was like, it's probably the dumbest thing I think I've ever done. I don't know. I went from first. I dropped it in second, and I just spun the tires, spun it right around, and I was looking Dale right through the windshield. We just waved at each other. I had to see a Start and Park paint scheme. Give a little shout out to the sponsor there, but I can't remember. I dropped back to the mid-20s, and we finally got a good long green flag run there, and I drove all the way up to 5th, and I was within 2 seconds of the leaders there. I mean, I was really wanting that to go green the whole way, but you know, the car just hooked the bottom the whole race. You know, I didn't have to, while I was coming through the pack, I didn't have to do anything crazy to get up on it. It just, I was able to drive easy, and, you know, I found myself in the top 10, and after that, everybody just kind of kept coming back to me. The car just didn't fall off. It stayed real consistent the whole time.
You know, kind of watching things up here now. When that next to last caution came out there, put us under the first green white checker, you had a little over a 10-second lead. You know, what was going through your mind when you saw that yellow flag come flying out?
I was sitting there waiting. I was expecting it. I just, you know, it's just the racing always comes down to a last-minute deal like that, you know, and you know, it's just one of those things about racing. You get 30-some cars on the track, there's going to be an incident. You know, people are going to get into each other, and there's going to be a wreck and a caution. It just, I mean, I hated that it fell, because I was, you know, I was sitting there riding around just comfortably, just kind of trying to get to the finish, but, you know, the caution came out, so I figured it was one of those things that if I stayed out on my tires, then everybody behind me would have pit, and they would have just blew by me. So I figured I'd take my chances on going and getting tires and just seeing what I could do, and it worked out.
That's like I say, you put on another heck of a show here tonight. You know, before we send you down, I want to say, you know, first of all, you know, congratulations on the win. Second of all, I know Brandon, one of the prizes here tonight for the top finisher, you know, number one position was that T-shirt, of course, with the trophy. You know, you get tonight also. But any sponsors or friends you want to thank?
Oh yeah. First off, Brandon Butler and Start and Park blog for you know, coming to me and asked me to you know, run their paint scheme for the Start and Park Las Vegas race. I mean, that's pretty cool. So I was glad I was able to take them to victory lane like I did with TeamSpeak at Daytona, and you know, all the sponsors and the admins, and you know, Lacey Sargent for everything that she's doing, and you know, Kelly working the pit lane. It's just I get a headache just listening to everything that they got to deal with, so I can't imagine trying to deal with it. You know, we got I want to thank, you know, all our sponsors, TeamSpeak and Diamond Medical, Redline Designs, and Nick Thames, or Nick Thames or Tim's for you know, sponsoring the series. He's doing great work with his diecast. And Potomac, Valley Sports University for sponsoring the Cup Series. We got TB Design, Spatial, Halls on Post. It's just crazy what all's going on with this league. It's awesome.
Well, now, kind of an inside joke here, Lewis, but now that you've won the Start and Park Blog 400, where are you going to dinner tonight?
I think I'll take Tony Ball and Buster S&M to Applebee's.
Awesome. Well, like I say, congratulations on your win tonight at the Start and Park Blog 400, Lewis. Go take these guys out, grab a little Applebee's, and have yourself a good night, bud. Good win.
You got it. Thank you.
And I've kind of caught up down here with Brian Lee, our second place finisher here tonight. Kind of walk us through the night, Brian. You were pretty much up front, biggest most of the night. Seemed like the car worked pretty well for you out there. Kind of got us through your night and how it went.
Yeah, I had a good car right from the start. The main idea was to try to stay up front, away from the trouble. Seemed like the farther you got back, the messier it got, and I wanted to stay away from that. You know, this track can be tough sometimes coming out of four, so I was just making sure to keep the car clean. If I got tight, I had to check up instead of trying to race for more spots. You know, you just got to be smart on these long races. And these two guys here, Busta and Dale, they both ran a great race. Ran a lot of laps with Dale, and he was strong all night and just about got me at the end, too.
All right, now coming up to, I mean, you were having a real good run there throughout all the night, like I say, and that last caution fell, and you were kind of back there with Busta there. You know, kind of what was your mindset when that last green flag flew?
Well, first I was glad to see that caution. I was probably running 7th or 8th and 8 seconds up to the next car, so I wasn't going anywhere without that. Then I took 2 tires. Seemed like a good idea, but it was kind of loose on the start, so I just had to hang on for whatever I could get. We had a couple cars up there with old tires, and I think had they not been in the way, I'd have probably just been farther back because I had the 2 and Bus had the 4, and he was fast.
Right, now, following him around tonight, I mean, were you kind of alluded to it there, were you able to learn quite a bit about this track tonight, kind of following around Busta up there in the front? I mean, like I say, you were following him for quite a while there tonight.
Well, you want to drive it hard. You know, you got to get into those corners hard, but if you miss it at all, you're going into the wall on coming out of the corner, and your whole race can be messed up in one lap just driving it too hard. It did make for a great race, though. You know, there's a lot of good side-by-side stuff, and I wasn't really expecting that after the practice laps I'd put in this week, so it was a good race overall.
And I know one of the things we kind of alluded to tonight, too, is getting on and off a pit road, you know, under those green flag conditions, you know. As you were coming in for that final pit under green, you know, was what were you kind of thinking there as far as getting in and getting back out?
Yeah, that's always nerve-wracking, and especially here, you know, if you check up too soon, you're going to give away a lot of time to those other guys that have already pitted. So you got to get in there hot, and you got to keep from speeding, and, you know, you just do your best. And I actually had a pretty decent stop, but I waited so long I'd given up too much time on my old tires.
Right. Well, like I say, congratulations tonight, Brian, on a second place finish. You know, before I let you go, any sponsors or any friends and family you want to give a quick thank you to?
Well, the admins always for their hard work, and you guys in the broadcast booth. I always enjoy watching the race on YouTube afterwards. So thanks to all you guys.
All right, congratulations on a hard-fought, well-deserved second-place finish tonight, Brian Lee. Hope to see you back next week and call another exciting race with you like that.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, before I catch up with Dale Reynolds down here, our third-place finisher tonight, I'm going to throw it over to Brandon Butler here, who I understand, Brandon, you have a winner to announce on tonight's $15 iRacing certificate. Is that correct?
Indeed, we do. Let me just pull it up right now, real quick. Yeah, I know it's intense. You know, you gotta wait. Just one more second. All right, the winner of the $15 iRacing credit goes to Tim Buskunis. Or Buskunis, I'm sorry. I get names wrong like that. Sorry. Tim Buskunis is the winner of the $15 iRacing credit.
Well, congratulations to Tim over there. For those of you hanging around NuffWorld, you may know Tim. He's the owner of TB Designs, who helps us out here a lot. Has a race, a lot of support here from NuffWorld. Supports us a lot too. So nice to see kind of one of our own sort of win tonight. So congratulations, Tim. But we'll catch up down here. I'm trying to run down here and catch him before he takes off here. Our third place finisher tonight, Mr. Dale Reynolds down here. That's number 27. Congratulations on a well-deserved, hard-fought third place finish there tonight, Dale.
Thank you very much, Ducey. If anybody had told me that we were going to finish third earlier on in this race, I would have told him to take the money and put it on somebody else, because when we unloaded here, we were really, really fast. We had a good qualifying trim. We won the pole with the car, and we hadn't really shown a whole lot of speed there in the race trim. And then we smacked the wall coming off of 4 real early in the race, and I thought we were pretty well done after that. But want to say congratulations to Busta. I'm so glad to see a fellow Starting Park Chevrolet take the win of the Starting Park 400. Also to Brian Lee, because we had a real good race there, and like I said, if anybody had told me we were going to finish this well, I would have told them I would have laughed in their face. But we fought real hard, and the car wasn't too bad. We didn't have a whole lot of speed right there on the get-go of the runs, but once we got a little bit ways into the fuel run, the car was just on rails, and we were starting to pass cars left and right, and it was ended up not being too bad.
That's actually interesting to hear you say that, Dale, because we are at Vegas here, and the odds-on favorites here at Vegas, believe it or not, were you. You have the best average finish here of all Nuffers at Las Vegas. That's interesting to hear you say that.
Well, that's news to me, man. I mean, I did not know that I had the best average finish here. I mean, that's great to know. I'll be honest, I'm not a real huge fan of Vegas, but I guess it worked out in our favor tonight. I guess like I said, the car was okay, but I definitely wouldn't have put odds in my favor. There's no way.
I got to kind of allude back to just like I asked Lewis there. When you were down there on pit road, getting ready to fly out of your pit box there, what went through your mind when you see Lewis Busta come right across your nose sideways like that?
Well, that was actually kind of interesting because that also happened Thursday in the Pearson race with Nick Timms. I think we won the pole also there, so we had the first pit box, and when I slam in the gear and I go to take off, and Busta just comes sliding across my nose, and I'm just like, oh, hey, how's it going? And we kind of, like Busta said, we kind of just sat there and stared at each other, and the start and park cars got a good view of each other, and we waved to each other, and we took off on pit road. We lost some time, but it was definitely interesting to say the least. Thank God that myself or Busta didn't get any extra damage out of that ordeal.
Yeah, that was definitely, it was something to watch too. With you, I mean, after that happened, you got buried pretty deep back in the field after that little pit road incident, and watched you come up through the field. I mean, it looks like you still had a good car, even though you had some damage at that point. What was the main strategy after all that happened?
Well, the main strategy to me was, I just wanted to get the best finishes I possibly could. Like I said, I didn't know what the damage was going to do. We had a lot of short runs, and every time we had a short run, like I said, we had lost a lot of speed on the get-go, and we kept getting passed on these short runs, and I didn't know what the car was going to do on the long run, and thankfully, I think there was enough tire fall off. I gotta say, it was a great tire package that we had here. I guess the tire fall off, some people just didn't have tire management, or they set the cars up a little bit tight or whatever, and our car stayed really good throughout the entire run, and I was, needless to say, when we got down to the last run there, and I started running down Jeremy and Timmy, who had been running up front all day, and, I caught Nick, and, I was ecstatic. I was like, there's no way I'm catching these people. This is impossible.
Wow, I love the energy in it too. But hey, congratulations on a hard-fought third-place finish tonight, Dale. Any sponsors or anyone you want to give a special thank you to?
Well, number one, I want to give a big shout-out and a big thank you to Brandon Butler and everybody at Starting Park. They had come to me at the beginning of the season. They wanted to run some kind of sponsorship with the car, and not just for tonight, but for the season. And I'm really flattered that they had come to me for sponsorship. So I want to thank them for sponsoring the race and doing all the giveaways that they were doing. I also want to thank NuffWorld and every sponsor that NuffWorld has. I don't think I got the list like Busta does, but VSU and Potomac and Redline Designs. I want to thank everybody that sponsors the league. I know that a lot of the sponsorship money is very hard to come by nowadays, and we appreciate all the work they do. Well, I want to say thank you to all the admins. I want to say thank you to Lacey for managing everything that she does and calling the shots in the admin booth. I want to thank EPR for building the great car. Obviously, the car, was built to last after taking all that damage. So I just want to thank everybody, and I also want to thank everybody for honoring the lap 27 silence that we all had in honor of my dad. I know my dad would be very proud with the fight that we put up with this number 27 car to get it into third place.
All right. Well, congratulations, like I say, on a third place finish tonight, Dale. Very hard fought and very well deserved.
Thank you very much, Ducey, and thank you guys in the commentary booth for everything you guys do.
All right, then that should pretty much about wrap things up here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Starting Park Blog 400. I'd like to say a special thank you to our guest commentator tonight, Brandon Butler. So it's definitely great having you up here in the booth, bud.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
All right, so that does it for another episode here on NuffWorld TV with the Starting Park 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. For Brandon Butler, also for myself, Douglas Sargent, and our producer back there, Magic Finger, Stephen Mahana. We'll see you back here next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NuffWorld TV. Have a good night, all.
Good night, guys.
Alright, here we go, bud. Got ourselves a good picture here.
Oh, cool. I see. I was gonna tap out.